birthday,
Happy birthday,
JOJOLands!
the JOJOLands.
Happy birthday to the JOJOLands.
Woo! Happy birthday, JOJOLands. I can't believe it's been exactly one whole entire year.
Give me a boom. Yeah!
Yeah, fuck yeah!
Thanks.
Bang
Yeah,
boom.
a whole year of the JOJOLands. A whole year of this new
how about a
story.
little bit of this as well?
Yeah!
A round of
alright.
applause. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's play all the sound effects.
Let's just see what we got, yeah.
We have
Playing
the
them
Breaking
all.
Bad one, but we should really have a Better Call Saul one also. We should have
I feel like, yeah, we need that in preparation for the inevitable lawyer arc of this.
You remember why we added the Breaking Bad sound effect is because Araki's seen Breaking Bad now.
Yeah, he has. He keeps
Based on
quoting
all the
it.
references.
He keeps
Yeah,
quoting
he
it at
has.
us.
Like, the first 3 chapters all pretty much had Breaking Bad references.
I hope that continues. I hope that keeps going.
I
shit
think
is
that would
fun.
be really funny, yeah.
I have
That's
some
his
stuff
new obsession.
I kind of want to say about Breaking Bad later, but yeah,
Oh,
another
interesting.
beautiful chapter of the JoJoLands. Another chance to hang out with my 4 little funny friends, and now a
4.
5th.
5?
No, I'm talking about in the squad, the Final
Oh.
Fantasy party.
I was like, listen, I don't know. I know I'm the most recent addition to the Locacacast, but who else we got?
No, I'm talking about my 5
What other
little
enemy
funny
stand
friends,
users have we
which I get
recruited?
to talk about with my 2 little funny friends.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, we got a special guest today. Bring him out, Aeon Star. I'm just kidding. We don't have.
Dude, it's like
But I had you go in there, didn't I?
it's like
First
Dr.
he was
Phil, where like they
bad,
didn't tell
he's
me
good.
who's gonna be on. You just bring him out, and I'm like petrified, like, oh no.
It would be like an Eric Andre bit. We just have a surprise guest.
Yeah, dude,
The
it's like in
surprise guest that only one of the hosts actually knew about.
Speaking of which, I have a surprise for us later in the episode, but it'll be
Boy, I do like
deployed
surprise.
at the appropriate moment.
I see.
How do we do this again? We start everyone. How was your month? Is that it? Is that what we do? I'm so
I
out
think
of
so.
practice.
I think that's our bit.
So, how was your guys' lives in between last JoJo, aka the peak of one's life, and the previous peak?
It's been pretty much more of the same. I've just been watching anime and the YouTubes and occasionally reading some Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah. I remember you were talking about Umbrella Academy and Doom Patrol last time.
Yes, you gave us the brief rundown on how both of those series
Yeah,
were
we got to
going
read the
for you.
first couple pages of Umbrella Academy last time, which is pretty fun.
Which was admittedly really interesting. That kind of got my feelers out for
It's stuck in my head. It's stuck in my
Umbrella
craw.
Academy. Yeah. I'm gonna have to add that one to my. We were just talking about it before we started recording. Our backlogs of the
This is-
various things
it's-
of media we want to consume.
It's a weirdly boilerplate premise, but the universe around it is just so visually interesting.
Well, yeah. I think a solid art style can do a lot of heavy lifting. Honestly, solid art style, characters, etc. All works well together.
I sense a segue. Is there a segue in there?
One Piece is crazy good this week, guys. You guys have no idea how good One Piece has been. It's really been awesome. The current arc of One Piece, like that's one of the few things I get to actively keep up on now, along with the JoJoLands. But no, One Piece has been great, and I've been talking about it a lot lately with other mutual friends who enjoy the One Piece or just the manga in general. It's simultaneously really great and also really disheartening in a lot of ways that the manga, anime-manga industry, however you want to call it, is so for lack of a better word, fucked.
Thank you. I was gonna say fucked.
Yeah, exactly. For lack of a better term, but because you got things going on where it's like massive layoffs and crunch time and all these deadlines. And when you even get those like rare gems, sometimes they don't quote live up to expectation or perform up to expectations, and they get axed or what have you. But
that's an epiphany that I came to the other day when I was in my car. I was like, man, capitalism has ruined art.
Yeah.
It is something that I think about quite frequently.
We're just about
not
there.
Even as
we're cooked.
Yeah, exactly. Not even as someone who, I like to draw. I like to make the art myself, and even seeing like big name, like I am by no means.
I'm not even just talking about like visual art. I'm talking about like any art form.
Oh, that's what I mean. Like in general, it's. I was gonna say I see all these people like artists, like industry professionals or people who have worked professionally, just saying, I can't find work anymore.
That's designed by committee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, artists are stepping away from art as a career because it is just not
There's very
sustainable.
little incentive for people who actually have a vision to throw their hat in the ring and try to get that out.
This same shit is happening in the video game industry. There's massive layoffs. Everybody swung too big for the fences 5 years ago and spent beyond their means, and now the returns aren't what they thought they were going to be, so everybody's getting laid off. That
comes from this whole idea of like video games as a quarterly industry. It's like, no, video games don't have a quarterly anything. It's a long and tedious,
and they shouldn't is the thing.
Cycle.
The whole thing
is it shouldn't be.
The whole thing about capitalism invading our favorite things and turning them into shittier versions of those things so they can make money more efficiently. I was just talking with my brother about the new Dragon Ball Z game that's coming out. This is something that's very special and near and dear to me.
Budokai the Strikers or whatever it is?
No, it's Sparking Zero.
Sparking Zero, that's
if you'll allow me to have like 3 minutes of your time. Once upon
a
time,
go for it.
There was a Dragon Ball Z game on the PS2 called Budokai. And then there was Budokai 2 and Budokai 3. I never played those. Budokai 3 is everyone else's favorite Dragon Ball game. Mm-hmm. When they, in the 2000s, had this other series of Dragon Ball games they wanted to port over to the US. They were called Dragon Ball Z Sparking 1, 2, and 3. They just renamed them Budokai Tenkaichi to get them more associated with the games that were already a hit that people liked, regardless of the fact that the tournament in Dragon Ball is called the Tenkaichi Budokai, the strongest under the heavens. They kind of reversed the name. So anyways, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 specifically is near and dear to my heart in a way that few video games besides like Smash Brothers Melee are. Like, I have been playing this with my brother Graham since we were children. And this is really the only game that we have that's like this, where it's like a 10-year war of who can be better than the other guy at the game. At this point, it's probably like a 15-year war. I'm 25. I think we've been playing this since I was like 9, 10, 11. And it's a thing where we won't play it for 6 months, but then we'll bust it out and we'll be playing it all the time again. And it's just this absolute fucking 2000s jam of a fighting game. And I am looking at the new one, and sure, it looks awesome, and it looks shiny, and the graphics are better, and you've got, like, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, you know, you've got all the blues and the reds.
You're gonna have so many Gokus in this game now.
It's okay, we had so many Gokus in the last one, too. I would sometimes play with a team of all Gokus. That's Kid Goku, Goku Early, Goku Mid, Goku End, and Goku GT. You could play a team of all Gokus already. That's not the problem. I'm not concerned about too many Gokus.
There are no mid Gokus to me.
Mid Goku is actually the coolest looking one. He has the fluffy Super Saiyan hair instead of like the
God, I love fluffy Super Saiyan. Yeah,
dude,
God,
Goku Mid is the first time he goes Super Saiyan.
That's my controversial opinion. Is that early Dragon Ball art was so vastly superior. The rounded shape.
Right, when Goku was actually ripped.
Yeah, when Goku was actually, like, cool looking.
But
was awesome.
We've been waiting for a Budokai Tenkaichi 4 for literally, like, 20 years. It's been a constant, like, oh, God, imagine if that game ever came out. Imagine how good that game would be. And sure, it's finally coming out. It's called Sparking Zero. It's not called Budokai Tenkaichi 4, but it is what we wanted. It's what we've always been asking for. And sure, there's new characters from like parts of the story that have come out since the 2000s
Wow,
PS2
he really
era.
is just called Goku parentheses mid.
Yeah, yes he is. Yes he is. Goku mid.
That's awesome.
But let me finish my thought here.
Is there Goku top and Goku bot?
I wish. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Let me just get to the point. This game, sure, it looks shiny and it has new shit in it that we didn't have in the previous games. However, they are already putting out some questionable stuff. For example, it doesn't seem like there is going to be local split screen play at all, which is...
I assume that's a staple of the series.
It's what we do. It's what we've always done.
Right.
You sit down on the PS2 with two controllers and you fucking play. And it's a whole... It's like, how did we move so far back? How did we get here where now you need two fucking Xboxes and two accounts and two purchases of the game in order to play together? Why can't we just sit down on the couch next to each other and enjoy this like we always used to? Why is it that this thing that is supposed to be like bigger and better and the awesome shit we've been waiting for 20 years, why is it crappier than the thing that came out in 2005? Why?
Well, and that was the point that I had that's the point that I had reached. The arts as an industry aren't just dying, they're being killed.
They're being killed, and the people who is killing it have names and addresses, and we can firebomb their houses.
Well, I'm not sure we can say that on YouTube, but I the views and opinions expressed by the members of the Locacacast
Are those alone? They do not reflect the whatever.
My point is, big money interests are ruining everything we love, and
absolutely.
I long for the days when a video game would just come out and there was no online connectivity, there were no updates, the game had to be finished when it launched, it came on a disc, you bought it, you went home, there was no more money changing hands after that, and then you enjoy that video game in peace for the next 15, 20 years completely unbothered. No one is ever going to be able to take Budokai Tenkaichi 3 from me. The servers will never shut down. You're going to have to come to my house and pry that shit out of my cold, dead hands. The same cannot be said for Sparking Zero.
Think of, oh, I can't, I really, okay, I beat this one. Time to put it in the trash forever because they're going to make the newer, shinier version in a year from now. That's just an inevitability at this point. It's like, oh, I'll just wait until the sequel or the remake or the remaster or whatever.
Or you buy the game on digital and they update it to the sequel. The next year.
It's crazy.
Or they do that.
We also really love Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Xenoverse is a fun game. Xenoverse 2, we've been playing...
Oh, I've heard that game is, amazingly fun.
It's almost 10 years now. Xenoverse 2 came out in 2016, and at the time we were like, this is cool, but we still like Budokai Tenkaichi. They're a little bit different. But I just wanted to bring up that Xenoverse 2 has had, a major combat overhaul update, 5 times. So the Xenoverse 2 that came out at launch that me and my brother spent all night staying up in that hotel room just playing Hit versus Ultimate Gohan over and over and over and over and mastering the mechanics. They changed the mechanics a year later and then changed them again. Cool. And it's we sure still have fun with the present version, but that previous version of Xenoverse that existed, we're never going to get to play again anywhere, ever. And
right, exactly.
I miss when that couldn't happen. You just had to release Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2 in order to update the combat system and add shit.
And that was to kind of go back around to my...
connectivity and being able to update a game after it released has been a disaster for us all.
Yeah. And to go back to my point about One Piece and manga in general, One Piece is still great. It is at the height of it. It's as good as it's ever been.
Peak.
It is a new golden age standard.
It's at the pinnacle.
But yeah, it's at the pinnacle. But the unfortunate thing is, it's not even that the art itself is suffering, but you can really tell that Oda is fighting with his page limit and his paneling a little bit, in the sense that, okay, I have a couple major battles going on, but I also want to reveal some really deep, important story beats, like lore of the One Piece world, and and it's a rough balancing act to have to do this on a weekly basis of managing a 13 to 15 page chapter between giant bombshell plot point versus giant major important battle. And it's like, if everyone just had a little bit more time, if it was a bi-weekly, or if he, like we've talked about before, if he if he was able to, which he probably is, he's probably well off enough being the creator of One Piece, to adopt the monthly model and just make a double length chapter, I don't think anybody would have real complaints with that. At least I wouldn't. Because I want the things that I like to be as good as they can be and have properly reflect the artist's vision behind it, I would say.
But okay, so but like, there is no goddamn way big moneyed interests are gonna let that happen. We're gonna go from 4 chapters a month to 1? Hell no.
There's no way, Big Shonen Jump is going to say, okay, Oda, you've been working really hard lately. You can release a chapter a month. Like, no one's gonna say that for One Piece.
No.
Which is the unfortunate truth.
One Piece fucking moves Shonen Jumps. One Piece pushes units, dude. You need people buying that shit.
It's been pushing units for decades.
Yeah.
Decades, even.
I think the beginning of the end was when the special editions of the original Star Wars trilogy came out, and George Lucas had put all this fucking shit in them.
Oh god, I love George Lucas so much, but god.
You know what's fucked up? I grew up with those versions, and I didn't notice there was anything wrong until years later when people told me that there was something wrong with them and that I had watched the bad versions. McClunky. I know, I'm just saying, as a 5-year-old, I still watched and enjoyed Star Wars until I was told there was something nerdy to be upset about later.
Exactly. A 5-year-old doesn't have the nuanced understanding of McClunky that we do as.
Well, a 5-year-old doesn't really know what's practical effects and what's shitty-looking digital. Like, to me, it's all fantastical.
In the next special edition, Greedo will shoot himself in the head.
Han will just win the speech check and talk him into capping himself.
He'll do his weird, like, head gyration, like, off to the side, and then the blaster will ricochet behind him and and land back in Greedo's head.
McClunky.
McClunky.
McClank.
I love McClank. I like the fantasy slur that they have in Star Wars for droids. Do you know what they call them? Do you remember?
I don't.
They call the battle droids clankers.
Huh.
On account of they make clanking sounds when they walk. It's a good one.
All right, so I would bring up the back to the chapter graphic right now, but we haven't gotten to the chapter yet. Oh yeah, I have a surprise later, sort of related to that, but we have to need the back to the chapter graphic
right.
first.
We have to get
let's
to the
get it
back
out of the way
chapter.
first. I hate the name Charming Man.
Oh, I think it's really funny.
Wait, are we done talking about our months?
I thought you were segueing into the chapter.
I wanted to know if Chris had anything else, because I had something else.
No,
I had one more thing I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear your one more
Nothing major
thing.
happened.
All right, check it. So I recently I did the Idiot-A-Rod again. The Idiot-A-Rod is a shopping cart race through downtown Phoenix, and it's like a pub crawl, but also like a scavenger hunt, and also like a low speed race, all happening at the same time. And you build your shopping cart, and then you fucking put your costumes on, and it's like everyone has a theme, and it's a whole bunch of goofy shit, and it happens every February. I did it last year with my friends Liz and Rich and our team, and then we did it again this year. This year, our theme was the 2003 film Party Monster. This is what our cart looked like. I'm sending some photos now.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yeah, so the bloody box is like, there's a character in the movie who gets killed and put in a bloody box for like a couple days. And
Oh.
so that was sort of the centerpiece of our cart. Like, that goes in the sitting position, and we had, like, an arm sticking out of it and shit.
As you do.
Yeah. Here was the arm. The arm is actually signed by Chuck Palahniuk. I don't know how that happened. I don't think it's a real signature, but...
Huh.
Anyways...
That's a shopping cart?
Yeah, it's a shopping cart that we have, sort of like... You can see it's been, like,
Bricked
sawed and bent so that there are armrests and a footrest. But yeah, this is a whole thing where we decorate our shopping carts, and we all dress up in silly costumes. Here's my friend Liz, who got slimed. She was already doing like a bloody mummy thing, but then got slime poured all over her as one of the challenges. And then here's me in my cute outfit for the day. I was just dressed in sort of a Gitsy-inspired fit, Michael's final love interest from the film.
Nice.
But I was like, damn, I gotta dress in these cute clothes more often. I like how I look, and I want to do this more. So I have to find more silly events and more reasons to dress up. Because I was like,
yeah,
damn.
you were saying because for one of the end cards, I went and I found a comic from there was an artist on Tumblr. I forget the exact name. I'll find it and put it up later. But this dude in college turned into one of 4 people. The JOJOLands gang.
Yes!
And,
Yeah.
and Zach, you were telling me I've been all of these people.
And I'm now going for Dragona.
Hell yeah.
I've been Jodio, I've been Usagi, I've been Paco, and now I'm doing Dragona.
And at some point, maybe we'll all become Charming Man.
Anyway, one of the carts that one of the other teams built was literally the 8.6, and they had like a
so cool.
speaker in the back, and they were blasting Eurobeat when they were going from stop to stop.
That is awesome.
So, anyways, I got to experience some good times and some euphoria of feeling like, hey, I like how I'm dressed. I need to dress silly like this more often.
Excellent.
And so then I immediately dressed cute again and went out to karaoke at the gay bar with my friend Brennan, like 3 days later.
Hell yeah.
And
Local man goes outside, actually has a good time.
Yeah, hey.
Actually has a good time.
Other than that, things are the same. Still working at that same job, still going to that same bar, still seeing the same people, still seeing my friend Serene. Yeah, everything is the same. Idiot Arad was like the big cool thing that happened in my life recently. And then I think coming up, I'm going to go camping later this month, perhaps. And if that falls through, then I have something cool coming up in April. I'm going to Saguaro Man, which is like Arizona's small little regional Burning Man event. I've always wanted to go to Burning Man, and I'm starting off with like an entry-level type deal. I'm going to SAG.
Burning Man for beginners.
Yeah. Anyway.
Nice.
So, yeah. That's the cool thing I just did, and I have a different cool thing to look forward to. Dragon Ball Z game is coming out on the horizon, but they better backpedal that no fucking local multiplayer shit, because gaming as we know it is dead.
Yeah. Fix Dragon Ball.
Fix Dragon Ball. Fix that shit immediately.
Dragon's Ball P.
Dragon's Ball P. Anyways. I believe that covers it for the cool and interesting stuff we were going to talk about our months.
That's all for the...
That's all she wrote.
That's all, folks.
Oh my god, are we doing it? Are we talking about the JoJo's
now we
Land?
Can get back to the important topic. Charming Man is a stupid name.
Charming Man is an awesome name.
It's very Die Hardman. It's very hot Coldman.
It
harkens back to like the early days of JoJo where he would just give a person.
Well, that's what I mean. We're finally back. We're finally back to Vanilla Ice and
Cream.
Kenny and Loggins.
Kenny
Vanilla
and
Ice Cream. Yeah. Back to just Karis, Jay Guile,
Dyer and Straitso,
Oingo Boingo Brothers,
Bruford and Tarkus.
Bruford and Tarkus.
Do you guys
we
remember
are
the zombie whose name was just Doobie?
I do remember him. He was the dreaded Doobie. I think about him all the time.
And then there
he
was
snakes.
He's introduced as the dreaded Doobie.
Bonham and the other one.
Paige Jones, Plant and Bonham. Yeah.
Yeah.
The joke about them in JoJo, but really, really fast, is so funny. It's like, all right, we're getting to the climax of the story. Now we're going to introduce four named characters.
Yeah.
Paige, Jones, Plant, Bonham, and we're all dead.
And we're all dead.
So good.
The orangutan on the boat named Wu-Tang Forever.
His name is just Forever, isn't it?
It was just Forever.
It's just Forever, but it's the Wu-Tang album. He's Wu-Tang Forever to me.
Did you guys ever see the Dave Chappelle sketch, Wu-Tang Financial?
No.
No, I did not.
Oh my god. Dude, it's like, here at Wu-Tang Financial, we understand that it's all about the Benjamins. And it's just a whole... it's like old people dressed in like financial outfits, like business suits, and they're going, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. It's
Ain't
really
nothing
good.
to fuck with. If you want beef, then bring the ruckus.
Yeah. No, dude, it's just like they're giving financial advice, but every like 4 lines they quote a Wu-Tang song, and it's really fucking
That's
funny.
awesome. Yeah.
Wu-Tang Financial.
Wu-Tang Financial.
But the essence
Charming
of my
Man
thesis
Financial.
the essence of my thesis statement here is Araki knew that Charming Man is a stupid name. That's why he has characters pointed out.
Right. Okay.
This is that's what I love about it, is this is the first time anyone has ever been like, that's a dumb name.
Dude, there's only one time in the entirety of the Breaking Bad series that anyone points out that Saul Goodman is a stupid name, and it's Hank.
Yeah.
It's
It's
the
been
only
30
time
years of JoJo
in
of
the
this
entire
shit.
cinematic universe where anybody goes, really? That's your name? And now we're getting that here.
Oh, by the way,
It's
we
so
should
funny.
probably reveal the musical reference to the viewers. We're not going to play the song, obviously, but the name is a reference to This Charming Man by the Smiths.
By the Smiths.
Huh. I didn't know that. That's new
Yeah.
to me. Alright, well, page 1. The rainfall in August is 30 millimeters. And then we get...
30.
Also, I didn't know about this. Technically, the highest point, the Mauna Kea, is the tallest mountain on Earth if you measure to the seafloor.
Huh. Yeah. Leave it to Araki to give you a random fun fact.
That doesn't quite
Your
make
fact of the
sense,
month.
though, because, like, Mount Everest also would be that tall if you measured it all the way down to the fucking seafloor, rather than, like, the sea level. Like, that seems like cheating, right?
I don't know.
So, it's the highest point in Hawaii, and the second highest peak of an island on Earth,
Yeah?
according to Wikipedia.
I see.
Neat. Alright, so it's considered an active volcano. There's not a single river that flows on the land. That doesn't make sense to me. How do they survive, then? Because you can't drink salt water. Do they just capture rainwater?
Yeah.
There's not a single river. Alright, so I don't know what the deal is with this opening flashback, but we get 2 motherfuckers, and we realize one of them is Charming Man, and the other one's Malka, his little brother, and they're like, "Wah!" They're doing crazy bike stuff. He's like jumping and tricking.
Bike racing,
Obviously,
yeah.
he took the acro
It's getting
bike.
intense.
He took the acro bike instead of the mock bike, so he can do these little jumps. Sick Pokemon RSE reference for you. And then he turns back, and dude's just not on the bike. The bike is still going. There's nobody on it now. Oh my god, there's still a shoe on the pedal. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, no, that was the first thing I was like, that is like so dire. If you
Shoe
look over
on
and you
the
see
pedal
that.
still.
It's somehow more intimidating than if he was just not there at all.
Yeah, or if, like, just his legs were still on it.
Yeah,
Just
because
the
that
shoe is
implies
somehow...
more than he just. Yeah, that implies more than he just fell off.
Right.
So
Which will
here's
come
where
to
here's where I have to come in and point out the musical reference. The opening lines of This Charming Man are punctured bicycle on a hillside desolate. Will nature make a man of me yet?
Mm-hmm. And Mauka is a Hawaiian phrase meaning on the mountainside of the road.
So there's that aspect.
Okay. I see you
How
two
his
did your
name ties into his
research.
backstory.
Yes, we did.
Next
I,
page.
I,
See,
I
it's
figured I figured I had to go outside and research some stuff so that I'd have something to talk about for this chapter, because there's not
And it does
actually.
make it more than an arbitrary reference. On Araki's end. There's at least some thought put into it.
I still think it's a stupid name.
But
I'll
it's
be
an
honest with you,
awesome name,
lads.
though.
I read this chapter and I got to the end and I was like, "That's it."
I started this chapter and I was like, wait a minute, but what about the beach fight?
Well,
How did we?
Yeah,
What happened to the?
we just kind of glossed over that, didn't we?
well,
Yeah, that's maybe the biggest thing about this chapter that bothers me the most.
I thought it was weird that they were putting that scene, you remember the comedy scene at the end of the last chapter with the
Right,
guy
with
and his
the
girlfriend
couple looking for
and
the watch.
and the watch.
the scene
Yeah.
We had
ends.
I thought that was a weird place for that scene, considering
Yeah, we had
that we were in the
commented
middle
that
of a
last
fight.
time.
And then Araki decides to just not show us the rest of the
And
fight.
then, yeah, smash cut after this flashback of Mauka disappearing off the mountain.
I think I might be the only one who doesn't have this complaint, because I had the ending of the previous chapter for me makes perfect sense flowing into the beginning of this one. I don't feel any disconnect. Paco is like, you know what, Dragona, tell your little brother not to let him drown. Let's make him one of us. And then we get our little comedy scene ending the chapter. Or the watch is now in the mouth, and the lady's like, I gotta go. I'm gonna get a ride with somebody else, to be continued. So we cut away from our situation while Jodio and Charming Man are still underwater, but we know the finish of it. They're not gonna let him die. So when we see in the next chapter, we get this flashback, but then when we cut back to the present, they're sitting across from each other, and Jodio's like, hey, let me suss out your intentions here, because we just let you live. We still don't know much about you. Like, that's fine to me. I don't feel like I missed much watching him deactivate his stand and walk out of the water.
No, I didn't necessarily need that. I'm just thinking, because I like the smash cut to them in the airport. Like, I think that is really funny. That is just like 5 minutes ago they were fighting to the death, and now they're not.
You just sliced two of our necks.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, that's the part that I needed to see to believe. It's like, what was the pitch to get that entire situation to de-escalate? Not only Jodio, but Charming Man himself. How are they like, now listen, I know you just kind of tried to kill all of us, and you've been underwater for like 5 minutes fighting, but...
The pitch is this: we won't kill you. Like, it's pretty...
I suppose.
Like, he's been beaten. He's done. He's, like, at the end of a sword on his knees waiting to be decapitated. And they're like, no, you know what, actually? I don't know that he has much of a choice. The pitch is that we don't kill you.
I think the mistake that Casey and I were making was the assumption that Charming Man had one more trick to defeat Jodio's latest strategy, which was basically just getting some air and just letting Charming Man drown.
Yeah, I assumed there was a bit more to the fight before we de-escalate, even if it was just Paco walking out into the water and picking them both up by the scruffs of their neck.
That'd be so
Being
funny.
like,
Imagine
"Listen,
Paco
boys,
just carrying
fight
them both
back."
under his underarms like wet
Exactly,
cats.
that's what I mean. Like, that would have been a funny conclusion of technically, quote-unquote, The Hustle, Chapter 2 or Chapter whatever, or Part 2, of just him, like, hustling them both out of the water, being like, okay, play nice, boys, I have a plan, and then we can smash cut to the airport. Like, it doesn't have to take up any time. It could have been half a page's worth of content.
By the way, I have to point out that Paco's ability is the same as Flex Mentalo from the Doom Patrol.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's just really good at flexing his muscles.
Just
Right.
really good.
He can flex his muscles, like, ultra specifically. I heard about him.
I've never heard about this character in my life.
Well, he can,
He was a
like...
classic Doom Patrol character, and then they brought him back for the modern Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
nice.
in the show. Anyway, so where'd you go, Mauka? Tell me if you can hear me. Ah, there's water. What the fuck, water? And then this
Water.
creepy scene of the fucking feet disappearing into the lava tubes, which is crazy because I've been to some lava tubes. There
Yeah,
are some
this
lava
is-
tubes
this
in
is
Arizona you can walk around in. It's really cool.
This is like the Nutty Putty Cave accident.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It really is.
Yeah. There are lava tubes in Arizona. It's up in Flagstaff. It's like an underground cave, and you walk deeper into it, and it gets like narrower and narrower. And there's a part where you kind of have to like crawl a little bit. Like you can crouch down and crouch walk.
I can't. I could never.
It's really fun. It's really cool in there, and the walls are nuts. Like, these are tunnels that lava used to flow through so long ago. And we've been there a couple times. It's a really fun, just like natural cave you can kind of explore. It doesn't get that dangerous until you get like pretty deep into it. And there's like a switchback. There's a place to get lost, but it's like very near the entrance, and so it's kind of fun to get lost. And anyway, we were down there once, and during like the crouch walking section, my mom thought it was over, and she went to go stand up, and she smashed her fucking head.
Oh my god.
She was like bleeding from the forehead, and just like took off her scarf and wrapped it around her head, and we were all joking that she looked like Snake. And then we still went to dinner afterwards. My mom's a soldier like that.
I was gonna say, your mom's a trooper.
She's a fucking soldier, dude.
She took that one on the chin.
Dude, and by the time we got to dinner, she like took the bandana off and went to the bathroom and washed it off, and she was like, yeah, that's fine.
She'd forgotten she even got bonked on the head.
Bonk. But yeah, man, tunnels are scary. Lava tubes are scary.
If you ever want to have nightmares, just look up what happened at Nutty Putty Cave.
I was gonna say, if you don't think you have claustrophobia, look up the Nutty Putty Cave incident.
We're all talking about the same thing.
It's not nearly as funny as it sounds.
We're all talking about the same thing. The fucking man in cave, the internet historian video.
Man in cave, upside down, forever. He's still down there.
I haven't seen the actual internet historian video, but I have heard of the incident.
Well, that's good, because it turns out the internet historian video was largely plagiarized and stolen from someone else's better work, who actually wrote the article that they stole a lot of it from. That's why if you go on now and you go watch the internet historian video, it's like a different version where all the sentences have been rephrased. It's hard to find the original now. Like, I watched it the day it went up.
Historian steals? No dignity.
No dignity.
No dignity.
Dude.
Not even a little.
I mean, that's not even
one dignity.
Do you guys have a favorite Duang Scans quote?
Oh god, mine...
Chew.
I do.
Chew is really good. I think it's a very iconic one. The one that I quote a lot, though, that's probably my favorite is, "Do you ever get a feeling so powerful?"
Oh, I didn't even... When is that?
I think it's when Koichi is... I think it's early on. Koichi's talking about his crush on...
Wasn't it Get a Feeling So Complicated?
It's Get a Feeling So Complicated.
That's it, yes.
Why's everything gotta be so complicated?
A feeling so complicated.
I get a feeling so complicated. I like that
and
one.
I like, yes, and I love his little pose, because it's when he's got his, like, his head in his hands, he's thinking, he's like,
he's doing a little cute thinking pose. My
and
favorite
just
one...
Get a Feeling So Complicated.
I mean, the Duang Scans, they say bad words in it a lot, but my favorite one of all time is in the, yeah, there it is! Get a Feeling So Complicated. That's the one.
Get a Feeling So Complicated.
My favorite one is when they're fighting Hazamada and his stand Surface, and it has the fake Josuke. The fake Josuke with the little screw in his forehead, and he's like made out of wood. He's not the real Josuke. But Hazamada like gets frustrated at him and punches him, and then goes, "Ah, God, my hand!" And in the real manga, the fake Josuke turns to him and is like, "Dude, are you alright? I'm made out of wood, remember?"
Remember?
In the Duang Scans, he says, "You okay, retard? I am wood, stupid."
Yes, no, and it's funnier than that, because it's not just... There's a typo. It's re-atard.
There's a video that actually reads out like all of these, like fan dubbing them. And the one that he does for this one is, "You okay, retard? I am wood, stupid."
Stupid.
I am wood, stupid.
I am wood, stupid. I'm posting it.
What a beautiful doing. True.
You okay, retard? I am Wood.
What
Stupid.
a beautiful doing.
Doing. True. Mm.
Anyway, that one's my favorite. I am Wood. Stupid.
I am Wood. Stupid.
I'm Wood. Anyway, so that's that.
I think it would be really funny if like somebody would like just you know, basically do a Duang like translation for all of these.
Oh god, there's another one from, not from JoJo, but from one translation of Bleach, and I will send it in chat, that has such a great quote that he says here in the bottom panel. Ain't no shame in kingin' like Kong sometimes, retard.
Whoa. Kingin' like Kong sometimes.
Retard. And one of my friends who's into Bleach just mentioned this panel offhand one day, and I was like, what? He didn't say that. He showed me, and I was like, what the hell?
His ass would not fucking say that.
He did not say that.
Speaking of King Kong, I
gotta find a way to add that into my lexicon.
I'm saying, whenever you need to king like Kong, whenever you feel like you've been kinging like Kong sometimes.
Sometimes you gotta king like Kong.
Sometimes you just gotta.
Everybody Kongs. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Speaking of King Kong, I saw Training Day recently on a plane.
God.
Have you guys seen that movie?
No. I've never seen it, but I've heard of it.
Ethan Hawke and Denzel Washington, and it's like a crazy, just fucking anxiety attack of a movie for 2 hours. And you're just like, it's just pain and fear and tension, which I like, but it was like a lot. And then when you get to the very end, and Denzel Washington's character, that finally looks like he's not going to get out of this one scot-free, like they're finally going to catch him. He's like going to be answering for his crimes, the villain that he really is. He's having this breakdown in the middle of the street, and he's like, I'm the police! I run shit here! King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Yes.
And I finally got to see the origin
line
of that line. I was like, oh, this is what that's from.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
It's amazing.
So
yes.
If we could go back to the chapter.
Wait! Go back to the chapter?
Did someone say go
for
to the chapter?
Hang on. I've got something for you. We need to share screens. You need to check this out.
I'm getting. Okay. We're in there.
Here we go. Are you ready?
Yes.
Boom. All right. Hang on. The people need to see this.
I'm watching you. I'm watching the stream. Oh God, I can hear myself.
Hey.
So, our friend Mac the Salami made this for us. It's very short, but I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic.
No, that is lovely. Thank you, Mr.
Mac
Salami.
the Salami.
Incredible.
Dude, so he said, I have something for you, but you must wait. Talk again, guys?
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry, I thought I lost.
Oh, hang on. The oven's going off. I gotta go grab that. Hang on.
Okay. But yeah, so Mac the motherfucking Salami DM'd me on Twitter, and he was like, hey, I have a new thing for you, but the condition for me giving it to you is that you can't tell the other guys about it until you do it. You just have to deploy it on them.
Fair enough. Thank you, Mac the Salami, for that one. That was
Shout
great.
out to Mac the Salami.
That put a smile on my face.
We've got our own little. It's got a song to it too.
It's got a song.
And also, if you'll notice, right at the beginning of it, it goes. It has a little static sound effect.
Okay, I'm back.
Hello?
Yeah.
That's from our podcast. That's from the opening to the Locacacast. That's the. That's our opening. He took that and then did the 8-bit Back to the Future theme.
That's neat. That's really
Dude,
cool.
that is incredible.
Yeah, Chris, I was telling
Mhm.
Casey in the 30 seconds you were gone, Mac messaged me on Twitter and said, I have something for you, but you can't tell the other guys about it. You just have to deploy it on them without warning. Don't tell them what it is in advance. And I was like, will do.
Mission accomplished. Yeah.
Shout out to
Oh, well,
Mac
you
the
gotta
Salami.
you gotta find a way to grab that so that we can use that later.
Right, so I can
Yeah, we
more
gotta deploy
properly.
that in the
Well, the only reason
soundboard.
I screen shared it was because I needed to get you guys to see it. But I have it at a place right now where I can just play it for the audience anytime.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's set
Excellent.
up. So, yeah, so we've got
So-
this page right here with the
Oh,
fucking
what I
lava
was
tubes.
saying about yes, I was gonna say about because you always talk about like the transition between pages and panels, right?
Yes.
So the
pacing of
first word you see when you turn the page after this spread where Mauka gets eaten by the water tube,
that. Mm-hmm.
right, is the word departed.
Oh, that's so cool.
Wow.
I didn't
Yeah,
catch
good
that.
on you, Araki.
That's really nice. Mauka! Turn. Departed. Now boarding. Wow, that's crazy. That's really good. I didn't even.
I didn't
did
catch
not
that either.
come up with that on my own. I don't think I would have
No.
noticed that. But that really is. That's like a match cut. That's like. You know, in Breaking Bad, where they're like cleaning up like blood and guts and viscera off the floor, and we directly match cut to
And
somebody
they're
dipping a
talking
chicken
about
nugget in
Yeah,
ketchup.
in ketchup.
Oh, I thought it was when they were talking about like the composition of the body as they're cleaning up all the body parts.
Yeah. No, that's a good one too. That when they're cutting back and forth, Walt and Gretchen in the past versus Walt and Jesse in the present, cleaning up disgusting viscera that fell through the ceiling. Yeah, that's a good catch. Departed.
That's really good. Yeah, Departed.
All right, so we've got Charming Man, and now honestly, I liked his character design better when we hadn't seen him yet.
When he was a bit like ugly and scrunkly.
Well, I mean, when he hadn't been fully illustrated by the story yet, you know what I mean? When
Right.
he was like
Yeah.
still just ephemeral and crazy and weird looking, and we hadn't gotten a good look at him yet.
That's I will say that's another neat thing Araki has done more in recent years, where instead of just completely obscuring a character by shadow, even if it's in like broad daylight, in some cases, he'll find new creative ways to kind of obscure them from vision, and that obviously being one of them with the Charming Man.
Dude, I'm going back to the previous chapter because I wanted to see what he looked like there. But like this fucking fight between him and Paco is goddamn insane. This is so fucking cool.
It is probably one of my favorite modern JoJo fights.
It's really goddamn good.
As brief as it was,
the way that the fight just pops off, like from the first page of chapter 10, the Hustle Part 1, Jodio has been knifed. And we are fighting. We are brawling. The fight just pops off, and then we keep brawling, like...
the entire chapter.
Up until we get a brief reprieve from Dragona and Usagi coming out of the watch shop.
Yeah.
And then we're still fighting and jamming, and then Dragona gets stabbed in the neck. This is a great goddamn chapter. Chapter 10 of the JoJoLands was fire.
Chapter 10 is probably my favorite, thus far.
It was action-packed. It was awesome. We finally got to see him use his stand in a way that's like, oh, I know what the hustle does, and I know why it's cool.
Mm-hmm. I can see the skill limit, or the skill ceiling
by the
for
way,
the hustle.
now that we're out of the hustle part arc, I guess.
Yeah.
We can talk about how, that really should have had a different name.
It shouldn't have been called the Hustle Part 2, not even a little.
Yeah, the Hustle Part 1 definitely should have been called The Hustle.
The Hustle, Saiyans Part 1.
You could have called that chapter Do the Hustle, because he says it.
Well, you know what? In the Tankoban or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably be called, whatever Charming Man's stand is called, parts 1 and too.
Yeah, because they
I
always have.
I can
fucking more
imagine it
boring
being
names.
maybe Paco's The Hustle as chapter 10, and then chapter 2, yeah, whatever Charming Man's stand is,
Huh.
maybe.
All
I
right,
think
so
that
they're
would be a
talking
neat
about buying souvenirs for
transition.
Mama. Macadamia nuts or corn coffee. Mama has a nut allergy. Okay, cool. That's
Barbara Ann.
it's gonna be super important later, I bet you.
I probably will be. Or it won't be at all. Maybe it's just another random Iraqi fun fact.
Maybe. All right,
Because he
so
likes miscellaneous character details.
Jodio talking to Charming Man, trying to suss him out. What sort of music have you been listening to lately?
This
Sia,
scene is
her,
really
and SZA.
endearing.
All
Yeah.
artists with 3-letter names. I get them mixed up, but they all have killer albums.
I love that Jodio is immediately impressed. Like he's just like, okay, I know we were trying to kill me like 15 minutes ago, but what musical artists do you like?
Also, Paco immediately being like, ask him his fucking name or something
Like,
first. And
what are
Jodio's
you
like, oh yeah,
doing?
right, his name.
This
You
is
idiot.
this is literally the bit from JoJo really fast. I apologize for the assault. Would you mind if I became a main character?
Yeah, literally. They are friends almost immediately.
All right. So Charming Man, that's your name, and he's an adult. He's 21, older than our whole
21.
cast.
Yeah.
Paco is kind of stepping up to be team leader, lead negotiator.
Which
is
again,
funny.
I really like. I like that he is more of the
He's older. He's like 19.
exactly, yeah, the mature one of the group, the Bucciarati.
Jodio's like 15.
15, I
Dragona's
think,
like
yeah.
18. Paco is like 19, and Usagi's somewhere. And Charming
I
Man's
think
21.
he's 17 or 18.
Yeah. We're in a
Usagi
win-win
is.
relationship here. We're gonna make some money. About the lava rock. Why were you monitoring it? What do you need it for?
So I love his big giant. Okay, so, like, why did he say it like that?
I was born on Hawaii. There's a valley. There's no water source. The water always gets absorbed into the ground.
Why this man speak using this font?
Why did he speak with big okay? So,
Okay, so I think actually
So.
that is supposed to be he was speaking in English in Araki's original manga. For the example, when it says "do the hustle,"
It's
Do the
far
Hustle
too
is-
stylized for it not to be
Yes.
original.
right? This can't possibly be a redraw. Like the way it says "do the hustle," like these are letters that were drawn by Araki. Like it was in English, surrounded by Japanese in the original release. I betcha. So we've got "do the hustle," and then now we've got "okay." So
okay.
I think he's.
So.
It's like, like in Street Fighter 5, when Alex, and in the English, he says, "Okay, let's rumble," and you said the
Yeah.
word, you said the voice of Japanese, and he says, "Okay, hajimeoka." So he's still saying "okay" to be like, look, he's an American boy. He's from New York City.
He's an
Like they
American
put some
boy.
English in with the Japanese dialogue to give him that kind of flavor. But
Yeah,
I really
like that.
how it's
I like
illustrated.
that flavor, exactly.
But yeah, so the lava rock, why are you monitoring it? What do you need it for? And he starts talking about there's a valley, there's no water source, the rain is always absorbed in the ground, there's no rivers. There was a place on Hualalai where water had welled up to the surface. Wind was blowing there too. That lava rock fragment flowed out of there. It came out of a big lava tube type of cave opening. That mangaka is a bizarre dude, but he's not my enemy. He picked the lava rocks up by coincidence. Then he brought them
Just
to
a
his
weird
villa
fucking guy.
to investigate what was special about them. I was interested in them too. A lava tube. And then they're trying to what are you buying? They get what are you buying?
What are you buying?
Not
Hey,
enough
stranger.
cash, stranger. Yeah, so
Thank you.
thank you. Right, so they are bargaining for the watch, and that's the watch, and the hands aren't moving. $80. It smells like fish. It fell into the ocean. $30. And
Yeah, I like that
bought it.
they
In your-
start to play
in
the.
your fan dub of this manga, this guy should be the merchant.
Yeah, the
absolutely.
RE4 merchant, absolutely.
I want to
I
do
like
that,
the-
but also I'm kind of like ethically against AI. But I guess it's fine because it's funny. I just don't know how to
Yeah.
do it. I would have to like buy an
A
11 Labs
selection of
membership.
Good things on sale, stranger.
how about one of these watches? They're real, you know. These things normally cost $80,000.
80,000.
Anyway, so speaking of this moment where they're like, they're like $30, and she's like, and sold for 30. I was in
They
Mexico
haggled
once,
it back down.
and there was one of these ladies walking around with the stick full of hats. You know, you ever seen that? They're like carrying around sort of like a hat rack, like a stick with other sticks coming out of it, and there's hats all over it. And so there's a lady walking down the street selling hats, and I go over and I'm kind of looking at the hats, and I'm like, what about that one? And she's like, it's $40. And I was like, that's the one I want, but I don't actually want it $40 bad. And so I was like, I'm okay, thank you. And I turn around and I start walking away, and she says, 30. And in my mind, I'm like, I still don't want it for $30, but I bet you if I don't turn around, if I don't react to that, if I just keep walking, she's going to say 20 next. And I kept walking, and she said 20, and I turned around, I swiveled on a dime, and I went over there.
Sure enough.
And I gave her the $20, and I got my fucking hat.
Played the game, yeah.
I didn't think I was going to play the game, but once she said 30, I was like, how about I just not react to that?
The power of the walk away.
Yeah. So I was like, no, thank you, I'm good. Because you know that hat was $5 for her to acquire. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So even $20 is like a big flip. That's a big return on investment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish I could have been the more gullible tourist and just given her $40, but I didn't want the hat that bad.
It wasn't a $40 hat.
It was not. I still have it. It's a $20 hat for sure.
I was gonna say you went through all that and then you don't even have the hat anymore.
I have it. It's around. It's like a white, like, big sun hat. It would go well with, like, a white suit. I have a little, like, Master Chief helmet, and I put it on top of that. Master Chief looks like he's going to the fucking Copacabana.
Oh, that's awesome. As he should. He worked hard. To the
nines. Yeah, he deserves
it.
A nice night on the town.
Yeah. He's
just wearing a pinstripe suit over his Mjolnir armor.
That'd be awesome. That would look so cool, actually. Armor with, like, clothing articles is such a good combination.
It's like when a wrestler wears, like, a tight suit, and it's just, like, so tight on his body he could Hulk out of it at any moment.
Yeah, exactly. This suit is so tight.
It's the most dangerous article of clothing
a man can wear. The most dangerous suit you can put on the human body.
Hey, so our running gag is like that, and then also Columbo. So I wanted to share with you guys something. Do you guys remember in Breaking Bad the first time Gus is like really under suspicion by Hank, and Hank goes to Asac Merkert and Steve Gomez, and he's like, maybe, just maybe, that's our guy. And Steve Gomez is like, I don't understand. If the deal went down at a KFC, you wouldn't immediately assume your guy is Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
And Hank literally Columbos them. He says, no, you know what, guys? You're right. This is off-the-wall wacky. Like Gustavo Fring, blue meth, the whole thing is nuts. It's just one thing I can't wrap my head around, though. And he puts the thing on the table and he says, what are Gustavo Fring's fingerprints doing in Gail Bedeker's apartment? He fucking Columboed them. He saved... one more thing. He saved that for last.
Now, I wanted to say... What if Columbo had the Mjolnir armor?
Oh
now, Morgana, there's just one thing that's been bothering me.
We need to give the Covenant their bomb back. They're probably missing it. They're wondering where it is right now. Lieutenant Columbo, sir, what are you doing?
What are you implying?
The Covenant their bomb back. Flies through space.
Oh, God,
I honestly think it's funnier to picture Columbo doing all the things Master Chief does, but just not in the armor.
Yeah.
He's just flying through space with no protection.
A mod for Halo Infinite, but instead of Master Chief, it's just Columbo.
Lieutenant
Nothing
Columbo.
else has changed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway. I kind of hope we get, like, a Hank character in this. You know, we should get, like, a stand user within the police department that is like, I don't know what these kids are doing, but these are definitely stand crimes, and I'm the only one who can go after them.
And I'm the only one, who knows that.
I want their lawyer to be a reference to Saul Goodman.
I want them to be arrested and go to prison, and they get a scene, like Saul Goodman showing up to defend Badger, where he's like, Jesus.
Oh, public masturbation, huh?
Right, and he gets the crime wrong, and the cop that's interrogating him, he's like, Jesus, what do they hire you guys right out of preschool now? Go on, take a nap, have a juice box, get out of here. Anyway. Yeah, so they've got this what are you buying scene, and they got the watch. It came back, and then look at this. Like, I don't think you can fucking just go through airport security with like a full bottle of wine. Like, can you? Can you just carry that on?
I don't know.
It's 2022/3.
/3 even, who knows? That's a good question. I don't know enough about airport security. I'm not a frequent flyer.
I love how Charming Man is like, wait, do you want me to go to Oahu too? And he's like, yeah, if you fucking need the lava rock, come with us. Don't bring any weapons.
You're part of the team now. We already didn't kill you.
Do you guys?
You know that's not on the table anymore.
You want to make yourself rich with that lava rock? No chance. That'll be clear once each of you drops out, I expect.
This is interesting to me because I could see this implying one of two things. People obviously dropping out as in dying, or people dropping out as in...
Going against the team.
Going against the team, exactly.
Taking an opposite stance, a stance that does not
implying the traitor arc again, which right. I just wonder if Araki has it in him.
Does he have the guts?
It was just a matter of him being too sad to make anyone the traitor of Part 5.
Does he have the guts to do that here, though? Because we're already getting, like, all these little sweet, funny moments with Dragono,
exactly,
Usagi, Paco,
which would just make it hurt even more.
And also... If Charming Man is the traitor, that has literally no impact. Of course it was the one that just got added. Of course it would be
the guy, that tried to murder the whole team.
Yeah, that's not, like, a fun reveal. That doesn't change anything. What were you
gonna say, Chris? Earn anything there, yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You were trying to start a sentence, and then ours went on long, and so I was trying to give you the floor.
Yeah, no. Can we just appreciate the historic moment of... the entire JoJo party getting on a plane and nothing bad happening.
And nothing bad happens. No. We don't even see the moment of the anything on the flight.
No, guys, I knew that was going to happen. That's not a surprising moment to me at all. You know why? Because the part's not called JoJo Crashes. It's called JOJOLands.
It does go- Oh my god, you're so right. I was like, where are you going with...
I'm pretty sure we said this in a previous episode. Like, do you think JoJoLands is referring to a safe plane flight? Like, this is going to be the first time they fly and don't crash?
And sure enough. Well, hey, they're already 2 for 2 on the flight there and now the flight back, so...
Dude, I'm pretty sure we made that joke on a previous episode, and we just keep getting righter. The Locacacast stays winning.
It's the power of prophecy granted to us by Apollo.
I was a victim of magic Apollo. Alright, plane takes off, and then we're back in the flashback, and
then they reveal that the pilot was none other than Joseph Joestar.
Joseph Joestar, who in this continuity would be 100 years old.
He could still fly a plane. Why not? He could do it.
That plane would have crashed for sure.
That plane wouldn't have made it off the runway.
He's like in a wheelchair with an oxygen tank, like.
Yeah. He's just
got Hermit Purple plugged into the controls, like his eyes are open.
I was gonna say he's become a fixture of the plane, like he lives there now.
Let's see if I still remember how to do this.
Which one of these is the ignition?
Holy shit! And he has a heart attack.
Oh my god!
He's just shitting himself violently while he's landing the plane.
He's got like flight attendants carrying out his colostomy bags.
This is like a penance thing. Like cosmically, he's crashed so many planes. Now he has to live out his days as a pilot.
I was gonna say, there would be weirder things in JoJo than a guy who lives in the cockpit of an airplane.
Indeed, indeed. So we get
When,
some
when,
more.
when, Jo- when Joseph dies, he goes to that underworld plane.
Oh my
Oh my god,
god!
you're so right. That would be his like Silent Hill Purgatory Hell. Is the plane from the Underworld
The
arc.
plane is constantly going to be crashing in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And he keeps trying to save the kids, but he can't do it.
He just can't do it.
He doesn't have Jolene's power to unravel herself inside of them.
Ugh,
Alright,
God,
so
fucking part 6 is so weird, dude. It is the weirdest one ever to me.
we get back to the flashback, and we're doing some more of the cops are useless pieces of shit type stuff, which
Oh,
is
God,
alright
they
with
sure
me.
are. Yeah, I can stand by that.
That tracks. That
I
tracks with
got,
my
oh
Lizzie.
my god. Yeah, actually, I do have something that happened within my months about cops being stupid pieces of shit.
This lead cop is very weirdly shaped. I can't tell if he's fat or thin.
He is very weird to look at.
He
He's
is shaped funny.
A real quick tangent about the cops.
me.
I got pulled over the other day.
Oh fuck.
I was taking my dad to pick up his car at the mechanics, and I was like, okay, I'll meet you back at home. I'm gonna pull off and go get gas. And so I was driving, and I was just pulling through a neighborhood. This is 9:30 in the morning, mind you. There's nobody out on the street. There is one person walking through the neighborhood with her dog on the opposite side of the road. And mind you, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not speeding. I'm not whatever. I come to the stop sign. I slow down. I approach 0 miles per hour of stopping my car. But you know how you do like a rolling stop at a stop sign. You slow all the way down to the
The
point that
old
you're
California
safe.
rolling stop.
The old California rolling stop, exactly. I do one of those, and out of the corner of my eye, as I start to accelerate again, is when I noticed the police car, the SUV that was parked into the shadows there, and I was like, oh, I'm sure nothing's gonna come of that. And then, sure enough, I look into my rearview mirror and I'm like, uh-oh. I see the cop car pulling around the corner, and I'm like, well,
That can't be for me.
maybe something else happened further up the road that I'm just not privy to, even though there's nobody else on the road. And then they get up right behind me and start flashing their lights, and I'm like, oh, God. Well, maybe it's not for what I think it is. Maybe my plate's expired, even though I know logically it's not. I got like a couple years left on it, blah blah blah. Maybe my taillight's out. So I stop. I get, the two cops step out of the car, and there's like the nice young, well groomed cop, and then the most stereotypical big fat bald guy wearing sunglasses even though it's 9:30 in the morning on an overcast day hobbles out on the other side of the car, and I'm like, oh brother, what is going on here? And then the guy comes and he's like, it was also really awkward because he didn't fully step into view of my driver's side window. He just kind of like leaned into it, like leaned over, standing closer to the back doors, and I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like perched. I'm like coming out of my own car window to meet this guy at eye level now, and he's just created this really weird atmosphere between the two of us. I'm like, good morning, officer. And he's like, listen, man, we saw you not make a full stop back there. Neighborhood, they complain about reckless drivers and such. And I'm like, dog, no one was even here to be in danger nor complain about this situation. And I didn't even, it's not like I ran the stop sign or anything, nor did I speed through the neighborhood to begin with. I was driving at a leisurely pace, because I'm not in a hurry today, but, I am now because you're inconveniencing me.
It's always infuriating when you get in trouble for literally just being perfectly fucking normal and ordinary and not doing anything.
Exactly, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Like,
That's one of my corest character traits. I will not tolerate getting in trouble when I
You
didn't
get the
fucking do
you get the
anything.
feeling that traffic cops have quotas.
oh, they absolutely do, and that was the thing. Where I was like, "These guys have got nothing else better to do.
Yeah?
They probably would have found something even if I had made a perfect stop
Right.
at that light." So I was just like, "Okay, whatever." So I got the written warning and I drove off, only to turn the corner and literally at the very next intersection there was an accident. A full-on, like, ambulances are out there, fire trucks are cordoning off the street, and I was like, "You guys stopped me
Holy shit.
for nothing, for no reason, giving me a written warning," which thank God it wasn't a full ticket. I didn't have to pay for anything. I would have been actually pissed.
Yeah.
But there was an accident. They were putting a person on a gurney
Wow.
50 feet
So
away from you.
I think what might have happened is like they, like, because you have to have cops on the scene when there's an accident like that.
They got left
Sure.
out of the cool cop stuff?
I think
Yeah.
like more showed up than they needed, and they were like, all right, just go over
And they're
there.
like, "Yeah, Johnson and Murphy, you guys keep
manage
working the traffic beat." And they're like, "Oh man, here comes a kid driving 20 miles per hour, and then
They're like, we're
does
gonna
a
manage the
California
shit out of this traffic.
yeah, man, can't wait to inconvenience this guy for 15 minutes." I was like, "Oh my god, okay, well, whatever." That was just a minor goofy tangent about the police being complete fucking idiots.
I have something fucking crazy that happened to me in traffic yesterday that I would like to discuss.
Go right ahead.
I fucking saved somebody's dumbass life yesterday.
Oh, was it a situation where you didn't have to, but did anyways?
Well, she ran out in front of my car.
Where you shouldn't have had to, is what I mean to say.
She ran out into the street, into
Oh.
oncoming traffic. Now,
Oh, I see.
this
Okay.
girl is on one side of the street, and she needs to get to the other side where the bus stop is. Now,
Oh, God.
picture this.
Mhm.
We are right next to the intersection. The intersection's right here. She could just go up and use the fucking crosswalk, but the bus is there
Just use the
now,
crosswalk. I
and she
swear
feels
to
that
God.
if she waits for the crosswalk, the bus is going to leave before she can get there, and she must be in a big hurry. So,
She's got to be somewhere important.
picture this. I am in the middle lane approaching the stoplight. There is a car in front of me, actually, I'm in the left lane / leftmost lane. The lane beyond me is the turning lane, which no one's in. I am approaching, stopping in front of the car in the middle / left lane. In the right lane, there is a big-ass bus and then a big-ass truck. And
Oh, boy.
there is a spot in between those two where this girl just runs the fuck out. Like, she's not looking at all. She runs out from in between the two of those, and I see her. She enters my line of sight, like, right as my car is coming. Clearly, she thought, that's all the cars that are gonna come. Nobody's gonna come in that center / left lane. And so she just fucking, like, darts out. And I see her, and I fucking swerve, and we lock eyes for a split second. She kind of does like a, and puts her hand over her chest, like, holy shit, I did not know that car was coming. But I
wasn't paying
swerve.
attention to my surroundings at all.
What an absolute bonehead move.
For real, like, she
Listen.
got fully out into my lane. She didn't just get
People
in between the
wonder
truck and
why-
bus and stop. She got
Yeah,
out
and
into my
people wonder
lane.
why they get hit, why they get run over. It's like you're actually just being a jerk. You're being inconsiderate.
If I do nothing, if I don't have the quick reaction speed that I had that day, yesterday, because I
Yeah.
was paying fucking attention, she gets hit by my car, going like
Oh my
15,
God.
20 still. And she's
Something,
like in the hospital with broken bones right now.
Yeah, this was 2 or 3 years ago now, but I was just driving, minding my own business, approaching, I was going to the light or whatever, and there's a plaza that's off to the right hand side, and again, I'm in the leftmost lane here. It's 3 lanes of traffic. Some old ass man on his fucking midlife crisis of a scooter, of a motorbike, whatever, just decides that he doesn't want to wait until traffic clears up, so he just drives. He comes all the way out, across 3 lanes of traffic just to get in front of me, and I was like, again, if I didn't have the quick reaction time that I did, and say to myself out loud, there's no fucking way this guy's doing this, I would have absolutely sent this guy through through the back of the next car in front of me. Yeah, and I was like, you've got to be shitting me.
This girl gets out of my way. Like, I swerve and go around her. I go into the turn lane halfway.
Yeah.
Thank God there was nobody there. But even if there was, I would have smashed into their car before I hit her. They'll be fine. They'll have a big-ass dent, and we'll have to talk about our insurance. But it's not sending a human being to the hospital with broken limbs. So I fucking swerve around her, and we lock eyes for a split millisecond, and then she runs, and she stops in the turning lane, like in the suicide lane, and waves to me. Like, waves with both arms, and then with one, and is smiling, and I don't know if she said anything, but my windows are closed, I'm way too far away to hear, but the gesture, I took it to mean, hey, thanks for not killing me just now, I'm sorry. So she waves at me, and then runs across the street, and then gets on the bus, and the bus just drives away, and I'm like, fucking bewildered, and I look at my rear view, and there's a girl in a blue car behind me, her jaw is just open, she saw that too, and saw me fucking swerve, and I take my head out my window, and I look at her, and we both kind of go, what the fuck was that?
Oh my lord,
And
just
so,
completely gobsmacked.
Please don't ever risk your life to catch a bus.
Just,
It's
like,
No.
fucking
never going
wait
to
for
be
the
worth
next
it.
one, just
Wait
apologize
the
that you were
next-
late.
Yeah, wait the extra 20 minutes.
Just
Because
imagine
not
what her
only-
day would have been like.
Not only do you
Imagine!
have no idea who is
What?
going to be in the lane when you're trying to cross.
What my day
No.
would have been like as well. Not to think
Yeah.
about me and all this, but like, you
This is
just...
the trajectory of your life forever.
Yeah! Like, what the fuck? And here's the thing. I just stopped at the dispensary before work because I wanted to have weed cartridge on my weed pen for
God,
work.
yeah.
And I was ripping that
this-
shit. I was high as fuck.
This man,
I was
this man
stoned
was
as hell
high.
driving, and I still avoided her. I was paying fucking attention, and my reaction speed
Christ.
was fast. And like, god damn it. God damn it. How are...
This
what
woman,
the fuck?
this woman would have ruined your life forever.
Dude, and hers. And hers.
And her own.
I was stoned as shit, too.
Mostly her own. Mostly her own, if we're being honest.
So that happened like not even 24 hours ago yet. That was like
Jesus
yesterday at 3
Christ.
o'clock. It's
That's
noon
what-
now.
I'm a relatively calm, collected person, but I feel a vitriolic amount of anger when I get behind the wheel of a car.
This feels like this feels like one of those texting and driving ads. It's like 15-minute wait or the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right.
Choice.
Exactly.
I've never had a moment like that. There was another time when I was driving home late at night and there was like a trash bag in the middle of the road, like a full trash bag. And I was like, why the fuck is that there? And I'm going towards it and I'm like, I guess I go around it? Like, do I hit it? Like, what the fuck is this full trash bag just doing here? And I get close, and the trash bag turns around, revealing a human face. It's a man in a black hoodie crouched in the middle of the fucking
Oh my
road.
God.
And there are no lights. And I go, Jesus Christ! And I swerve
Holy
around him.
shit, that is the scariest thing I could imagine.
Why was he crouching there, facing
Oh.
away from the headlights for that
That just
long? Like,
gave
was
me
that a
the-
suicide
I
attempt?
I think you
That
narrowly
gave me
avoided
a
a stand
whole body,
battle.
like, chill. That was harrowing to even picture in my mind.
I think Zach, you narrowly avoided a stand battle.
I think if I had hit
Yeah,
him, my
no
car would have like flipped over him, and he would have just
I was
walked
gonna
away
say,
unscathed somehow.
That was magenta.
Yeah, 21st century boy. My
21st
car would
century
have just
boy.
split in half around him.
Oh god, I have a similar story of one more car incident.
Bro.
This was another
Welcome
Couple
to the
years ago.
Locacacast. This week, car and cop trauma.
car impact draw. I have a lot of car stories.
Well, I mean, it's
I was
an
in a car
appropriate
accident
when I was a
chapter to
baby.
discuss it in.
What'd you say?
Oh boy.
It's an appropriate chapter to discuss it during.
Yeah,
Yes,
hey,
it
car
kinda
and
is.
cop trauma.
And cop trauma. No, this was a couple of years ago while I was still in college.
The story of the man who looked like a garbage bag in the middle of the road was like 4 years ago, maybe?
That's a
3
fucking
or 4 years ago?
That's
Those are
actually
the
a
only
nightmare.
2 times I've ever had to like swerve to avoid killing a human with my car.
Yeah.
And both times that shit was not my fault.
Not your fault at all. But me and my dad were driving home from my college campus one weekend, because it was a break or whatever. And we have to get on the interstate to do so. So obviously the interstate is never fun to drive, I imagine, no matter where you are in the continental United States. And,
It's
we're driving,
stressful.
just doing our thing. Yeah, it is. Especially when there's just unexpected incidents. So me and my dad are driving, and we notice that a bunch of people are starting to get out of the lane that we're in. We're in the, the leftmost lane, whatever.
Right.
And we're like, oh, cool, I guess,
Right. I always ignore
free-
those people. I'm like, great, more lane for me.
I was gonna say free reign for us. We get to start speeding up and going faster,
No.
and not even thinking about why anybody
Yeah.
was leaving the lane. And we're coming onto we're gonna drive under an overpass, and it's the middle of the day, so it's shady. It's casting an intense shadow,
God.
and we're like, me and my dad are getting closer to the shadow of the overpass, and we're like, wait a minute, what's that in the boom boom boom
This
boom?
is the perfect confluence of misfortune.
Legitimately, as we noticed there was something in the road, we were in the process of hitting it,
Oh.
and we come to a halt. We stop. We pull over to the side, and we're like, what the fuck was that? And we get out of the car and we look, and there was a mattress.
Oh.
Oh.
A full box spring mattress.
Wait, do you remember the Eminem buys a new car? It opens
Yes.
with, I fucked my car up after running over a mattress on purpose.
Yes, we quite literally ran over a mattress, not necessarily on purpose, but we were just like, this was my old like shitty car, Saturn,
I
and
busted my feet through the floor of the car and started it up by running like Fred Flintstone.
yeah,
It
thank
was
God it
immediately
didn't do
clear to
that.
me I had been
Well,
fooled into purchasing a fucking
thankfully,
J-Man's car.
Level of
thankfully there are far more terrifying things that you could have discovered that you ran over.
Yeah, oh absolutely.
Yeah, holy shit.
The most we had to deal with was
For
like
example, a guy.
a dude, a grown man, crouched in a hoodie underneath an underpass.
That was
But,
fucking insane. I can't. Why was he crouched there? Was he picking something up? Like, I don't get it.
He dropped his wallet.
And again, if there was anybody that day in oncoming traffic coming next to me, I would have swerved and hit them. I had to
Oh,
go
God.
fully into the other lane to get around this dude.
You gotta pay the toll to get past.
Dude, you gotta pay the troll toll.
The conclusion of this story is that as me and my dad are driving off with fragments of mattress clung to my car, we drive past a truck that was pulled over on the side of the interstate that was carrying furniture with it, and I look over to my dad and I go, hey, how much you want to bet those guys dropped the mattress? And he's like, shut up.
Shut
Say
up.
anything. Don't say anything until we get home.
Don't say a fucking word.
I've been fortunate enough not to get into
Oh.
any collisions that I myself caused.
God.
There was one time when I was hit from behind by somebody who was speeding because
He took some
they,
back shots.
No, this guy had to get his
Blew his
pregnant
back
daughter
out.
to the hospital.
Oh, God. Oh.
No, they got her out of there.
Okay,
but,
well,
It wasn't a lot of damage, and insurance took care of it. But yeah, no, the big one though was not with my current car, but with the truck that I used to have. Was I was going around the bend because I live out in the boonies, so like there's this mountain road that goes out to my place, and the road was slightly wet.
oh,
And so
God.
I was going around the bend, and I spun out, and I ended up on the other side of the road, facing the wrong way,
Oh, God.
with just like a little bit of basically ground on the driver's side road that I could climb out onto.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ. Between you and the mountain, you mean?
Between me and a drop.
Oh my God. I would, that is another, like, terrifying thing to imagine.
I shit myself a little.
Yeah.
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 I
Oh my
wouldn't
God.
hold it against you if you shit yourself a lot. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have anything to say. I wouldn't. Oh God.
That's what I'm always afraid of when mountain driving, like the long drop. Like
Oh,
you're playing on
oh.
one hit point, buddy. You make one mistake and
But
that's
it's
it.
like,
I thought you
But
were
it's
saying
like-
you're afraid of shitting yourself at any moment while driving.
but it's
No.
like, what have
Not
we
anymore.
learned? That's right. Slow down.
Yeah.
Oh God, bless America.
I have
I
I have
I have
two
a sh-
really quick stories. They're both about
reminds
mountain
me of
driving.
a story I have about also shitting myself while driving a
Oh my
car.
god. Okay.
No, I just had to shit. It's a quick story. I just had to shit really bad, and every inconvenience that could have possibly prevented me from getting to a bathroom could have happened. So I finally got to pull into a parking lot of a grocery store, run inside at the speed of sound. And you know how you have to shit really bad and you
Yeah.
start to like sweat, and
Yeah.
it feels like you can't tell if there's shit in your ass already,
Right.
or if it's just
It's just swamp
sweat and
ass.
swamp ass that has started to percolate. That was me, and
Oh,
I
no.
have never felt more terror in my entire life than being like, did I just shit myself in my car? Oh God! Oh no!
We'll call this episode. His name is Traumaman.
His name is Shit in His Pants Man.
His name is Traumaman.
I was like, I
Dude.
don't want to have a story where I shit myself as an adult.
I was at like an overnight church lock-in at a Dave & Buster's once when I was a kid,
Oh
and I
my
pissed
God.
myself playing Pac-Man. I was playing Pac-Man for so long. I got the high score table to just read gibberish eventually. I didn't get to the kill screen, but the high score table was broken. I'd been playing for so long, and it was on free play, so I could just keep playing forever. And I had been doing that I really have to pee dance for like an hour, and then I just started pissing myself. I was
Oh my-
like,
Your muffled laughter actually sounded like Pac-Man sound effects.
it was like at a church lock-in. I didn't have like other clothes. I just had to keep wearing the piss
Oh my
pants
God,
until the
that's
next
so-
day. It was
It
horrible.
is so- That's so funny though.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
Holy
But I have two
cow.
quick car stories for you. Number one, this one is fucked up. I was at the arcade and I was playing like Initial D and Smash Bros and shit
You
with
pissed yourself.
my buddy Joey, and we would always go and do that on a Thursday. We would go and do that, and then we would go
Holy
down to
cow.
Tailgate, the bar, for $2 glizzy nights, and we would get $2 glizzies. They're the big hot
I
dogs
love
that are
glizzies.
delicious.
Yeah.
And then we would go across the street to Palo and hang out there for the rest of the evening. So I'm there, and I actually have come alone this night because I think Joey's with his girlfriend. But I am sitting there and I'm playing Initial D, you know, like Japanese mountain drift racing fucking anime video game.
Right.
Initial D version 3, the arcade cabinet that they have at the Gaming Zone here in Tempe, Arizona. It's really fucking fun. And you get your own like card that the machine prints out for you, and it like puts ink on the card, like it tracks your badges and shit and how many stars you have, how good of a driver you are, and it's dope. And so it's like a whole thing, and I love Initial D. And I'm there, and I'm like, in between races, I'm like checking my messages, and my heart drops because I've received a message from my mom that my dad was in like a bad car accident,
Oh
and
God.
that he like called her at like delirious sounding, and he didn't sound good. It sounded like maybe he hit his head, and it was a real scary thing because I didn't know if dad was fine or not or what the situation was. But I saw these texts and I was like, oh God. And like Graham and mom are already like going to get him to pick him up where the crash happened on the highway. And I'm like reading this and I'm like, what the fuck? And I look up and I've already paid for my next race. And it's like boop, boop, bing. And it's like, okay, I guess I have to fucking drive this car fast now while I'm thinking about this. Like, I've already paid for my next race. Initial D is the only thing in the arcade that's not free play. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, deja vu, I've just been in this place before. And I'm like, I am not having a good time
you're
right
Jesse
now.
going around the goat cart track.
It was the
Yes!
most intense game of Initial D of your life.
Yes, and it was like, I don't want to be doing that. And then this guy comes up, and he's like, oh, hey, Zach, I remember you. And he starts asking me questions about Initial D. And I was just telling him about Initial D, and I was like, oh, dude, thank you for coming and distracting me. That helped me calm down. So the end of the story is that my dad did hit his head a little bit, and he was a little concussed, but the accident was not his fault. Somebody slammed into him super hard at the back, and like his car then slammed into the front one. So the insurance payout was big. He got a nice new car. He was perfectly fine. But that moment of like playing Initial D, like, I don't know if my dad just died in a car accident. I'm scared. Da, 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 da. was fucking
Jesus
horrible.
Christ.
I didn't even tell you like the most terrifying part of when I spun out
Oh yeah.
was because
Was it being on the edge of a mountain?
No, it was
Oh
where
god.
the mountain was
Oh.
because I don't get signal on that road. Which
Oh my
means if I had
God.
gone over the edge,
Oh.
nobody would have known.
That was a real like gasp of fear, like that. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Holy shit is right.
Dude, that's actually
That-
my worst fear. It's worse than
that was
dying,
a
being
real
grievously
gasp.
injured, and not being able to call for help.
Yeah. Oh my god, that one like I sucked saliva down my throat on that one.
It's
Holy
it's a
shit.
primal fear.
Yeah.
When you realize just how lucky you were.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh my lord.
Speaking of primal fears, I actually read all of Chainsaw Man recently. I can't believe I didn't discuss this in the catching up on your
Holy
month
shit.
section.
So yeah, my to go back to my shitting my pants driving story real quick.
The shit
This
your
was-
pants devil?
That's literally, you have no idea. The day, like, the couple days before this happened, I had gotten into a heated discussion, a debate with my friend of which devil would be stronger, the shitting your pants devil or the social anxiety devil. You can imagine which side I was already on. And I can't believe, like, the first thing I thought of after that
my
incident
God.
had occurred was like, I can't wait to shove this in Chloe's face that the shitting your pants devil is terrifying. It's real. It could happen to you.
The worst thing that can happen
Alexa,
with the social
play
anxiety
It Can Happen
devil
by Yes.
is you don't talk to people.
That's what I
If
mean.
you
The
shit
worst
your-
thing,
if
the
you
worst
shit
thing
your
the
pants,
social
it's not
anxiety devil
even in
can do
isolation.
is you're at McDonald's and you have to tell the cashier you don't want pickles on your quarter pounder. That's the worst thing it can do. The shitting your pants devil. There's a tangible threat.
No, the social anxiety devil
Yeah.
almost cost me like $100+ recently because I needed to email my boss Charlie to tell him I forgot to clock in on Sunday, but I just had such anxiety about it, and I was like insecure about being perceived as like a bumbling fool, like this fucking guy who always needs me to fix his punches. God, I hate him. And I didn't want to, so I just put it off and put it off and put it off. But like I worked 8 hours on Sunday. I need to be paid for that time. I worked. So the social anxiety devil almost cost me $100+ recently, but I managed to defeat it last night. I finally sent the email.
Yeah, but imagine you
had to
shit
watch
your
all
pants.
imagine you had to work all those hours with
With
shit
poop in your pants, yeah, as an adult.
I'm just saying,
You
the
had to-
social anxiety devil can do worse things than make you embarrassed about asking for no pickles.
Yeah, but
Yes, but
yeah, but
The shitting your pants
point
devil is
is-
still stronger, guys. I'm just saying.
The social
imagine how much
anxiety.
shit you had in your
Wait, hang on.
on
I have,
lock
I
at
have,
that
a, I, have
point.
a, I have a concise point. As
Give
to
Chris
why
the floor. I
shitting
wanna
your
hear
pants
this.
Devil is worse.
Yeah.
Okay, the social anxiety devil can hurt you when you're with other people. The shitting your pants devil can hurt you no matter where you are.
That's
Exactly.
true. That's true.
You're never
You are never
free.
safe.
You're never safe from the looming threat that is shitting in your pants.
All I wanted to bring up Chainsaw Man for was to say that I read all of it. I read from chapter 38, where the anime ends, to chapter 156, which is the latest release. Actually, I believe there's a new chapter out today. I'm going to go read that. But I did it all in like 2 days because I was in like a depressive state, and I was like, I don't want to be interacting with my reality. I want to be
Chainsaw Man
in fiction
gets
right
you
now.
out of a depressive state, but
So I just
it sure isn't.
dove into fiction, and I was existing in Chainsaw Man world for 2 days while I read all of
Yeah.
it, and I was consuming people's thoughts about it on the internet and shit. And it's pretty good. I mean, like, it's like the meme of the guy who's like the plate of wings that are like completely picked clean. He's like, "Sigh."
Demolished this bowl of wings.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I
Pretty
read it
good.
all in 2 days. It's pretty good. But the point
It's
is,
pretty
the
good.
devils are stronger the more people are afraid of them.
Yes.
So, you know, you start off fighting like the
tomato
ghost devil.
devil.
Or the tomato devil or whatever. There's a chicken devil at one point, and it's small and
Correct.
cute, and its name is Bucky because, of
His
course,
name is
nobody's
Buck.
people
His
aren't
name is
that scared
Clucky.
of chickens. Is this Clucky?
I think so. If
I don't remember.
correctly.
Who cares? It's not important.
Yeah, well.
The point is,
Well, because he
as
claps
the
like a
story goes on, we start to fight devils that are representative of much more primal, classic human fears, like the falling devil.
The falling. Oh, it is Bucky. Never mind. You're right.
So the falling devil and the darkness devil so far are the two like
Oof.
primal ones. Where it's like
Wait,
people
what
have been
happens
afraid
if-
of the dark and afraid of falling for as long as
Wait,
there have
what?
been people.
What happens if Chainsaw Man eats the falling devil?
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but
People
you know
forget
Chainsaw
the
Man
concept of falling.
deletes shit. Yeah.
But
Yeah, if he eats the devil forever,
But
Well, that
they
was
die.
Makima's
Gravity.
plan, is to create a world where there's no death and there's no sadness, to get him to eat and defeat, like, the war devil, the famine devil, the darkness devil, the fucking death devil, to create, like, a world where everyone's immortal and everything is wonderful forever, which is a very Griffith motivation. But the moment when Black Chainsaw Man, Pochita, asks, hey, Makima, in this new beautiful world you're going to build, would there be shitty movies? And she's like, no, I think it would be better without uninteresting movies. And he's like, well, then I gotta kill you.
Moments like that, and I don't know if you've read Fujimoto's earlier work.
No.
Specifically Fire Punch.
I know some stuff about it, but I haven't.
Yes. There is another character whose motivation is entirely similar to that, but the opposite, where this is a post-apocalyptic story, as one might expect, blah, 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 blah. The main villain's motivation that you come to find out is they want to progress society back to the point that it was prior to the apocalypse event, so that they want it to be exactly the same, so that they can see the next Star Wars movie.
Really?
They just need to know what happens in the next Star Wars. They need to know.
Really?
Yes. And they're saying this to a character who has lived in the apocalypse world and has no concept of what the fuck they're talking about.
what the fuck is Star Wars?
That's
What do you mean?
insane. That's like if Dr. Stone wanted to progress the world back to the technological point that he was at because he needs to jack off again. We need to invent porn.
He needs to reinvent Pornhub.
He needs to
And
reinvent Hentai Haven.
it's just this fascinating look into Fujimoto's psyche because this guy just loves movies. He loves movies and he loves media so much.
You know what? You know what's funny is like if that's your goal, if like you have a specific goal, then that's why you want technology to improve back to how it was. You can basically like pick and choose where in the skill tree you want to upgrade, and just you'll have a world that's super specialized towards that one thing.
This is
Yeah,
a
exactly.
planet.
This is here is the character's part of that monologue.
It's like
Welcome
he just
to
needs
porn
to
world.
play video
I
games
don't-
again. We just need to get
I
back to the
don't
point where
care
there are
if
video
it
games.
takes tens of thousands of years. I'm going to raise that culture to the exact same level as the era when they made Star Wars, so I can watch the next movie in the franchise. All this destruction is necessary in order to make that possible, and that's because the last Star Wars film ended on a cliffhanger.
So wait.
Fair
What
enough.
film? Is he talking about Empire Strikes Back? Is that the last one that happened in this reality?
I'm not sure. It's unclear.
Okay, but there's no... Okay, that's like the only one it could be, though. That's the only one that ends on a cliffhanger. Well, I
Then
mean, Fire
sure.
Punch wasn't made when the fucking 7, 8, and 9 are out, so let's just pretend those don't exist because they don't.
Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 4, if they had never announced a sequel, you would have been like, nice, complete story, good movie.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
no,
know
exactly,
that it
yeah.
was a cliffhanger. I mean, it kind of is
But-
in
but
retrospect.
Yeah, this is the main antagonist, the driving force that has been spoken of in whispers. It's like, oh my god, it's the Ice Witch. Why would she do this to us? Why would she fucking put us through this hell? So I just wanted to see the next Star Wars movie.
It's
Oh,
gotta be
okay.
Return of the Jedi that she's waiting for, though, right?
Well, then it's a good movie to wait for.
Well, I
Then-
don't know. She's gonna be disappointed.
I don't know.
Empire
I
was
feel-
kind of the peak of that trilogy.
Yeah.
I mean, everything in the throne room is awesome, but like everything outside of it is like, oh, we're doing this again.
What?
The fucking, I
They're
mean,
ba-
it's like, I don't feel like it's that cool. I feel like everything on Namek or whatever it's called.
Namek.
The finale kind of just A New Hope again.
What's it called? Ewok? That's the name of the guys. What's the planet
Endor.
called? What's it called?
Endor?
It's Endor. It's the Battle of Endor. It's not
fucking Namek.
They don't got a fucking Namek.
Hang on, wait. Return of the Jedi would be so much better.
Death Star.
If everything was the same, but instead of Endor, they go to Namek.
Yes, and instead of Ewoks, it's the Namekians.
Through the Frieza fret. Oh my god.
Wait. Complete reshoot of Star Wars, except, like, Luke Skywalker is, like, Gohan, and it's all Dragon Ball Z, and fucking the Frieza Force is the Empire. Complete reshoot of Star Wars.
Wait, but doesn't that mean Darth Vader is Goku?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, why would he be Goku?
Wouldn't that be awesome and weird?
But he's like an unapologetically good guy, Goku is.
Okay, sure, but I'm talking about, like, then we go back and we see Kid Goku as a slave on Tatooine. You know what I mean? And we, like, follow his upbringing.
Isn't Goku's dad a bad guy, though?
Bardock?
Well, he is a Saiyan.
Okay, but Luke Skywalker never has a son, and I want Gohan to be involved in this somehow. Dude, picture what I'm picturing, right? Darth Vader is Goku Black, essentially. He's an evil Goku. Picture Goku Black.
You're just making Star Wars, but with Dragon Ball characters.
Yes, I am, but picture the visual.
That's the only difference.
Okay, let me make this one point. I'm talking about visually. Is it more interesting? Is it really more interesting to have Darth Vader be Bardock and for Luke Skywalker to be Goku? Or picture evil Goku Black looking motherfucker as Darth Vader, and then like Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan is Luke Skywalker. Isn't that visually cooler?
It's visually cool, but it's
like trying to retrofit Superman
Goku
with Dragon Ball characters, and you've chosen Goku to replace
Vader.
Lex Luthor.
Yes, I know. That's why it's fun. This is gonna be great. I'm turning it on its head.
But it's just Star Wars.
Okay, but so was Family Guy Star Wars, and they still managed to wring some entertainment out of that.
Yeah, but
it's influenced by the fact that it's like a fucking Han Solo if he was Peter Griffin. I'm talking about Darth Vader if he was Goku Black.
Who would Han Solo? Who would Jar Jar be?
I don't know. Oolong? Next question, bitch.
Oh god.
I could do this all day.
Oh, you would be Oolong, you're right.
I know I am. Next question.
Oh, I hate it. Who would oh god, Master Roshi would just be old Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes! Now you're getting it. Now you're getting it.
God damn it, I'm getting it.
Is Shenlong the
you have to use the Force, Gohan.
The space worm that eats them in episode 5?
Yes. Next question. Yes, it is. Next question. Oh man.
Who would R2-D2 be?
Fucking I don't know. Let me think. Let me cook.
Let him cook.
I don't know. C-3PO and R2-D2 could very easily be Tien and Chaozu.
Oh my god, you're right.
Dude, fucking Han Solo, easy Yamcha, easy.
Does that make what's his cat's name? Yamcha's little pet
Puar?
thing. Yeah, that?
Puar
does that mean
is Chewbacca, yes.
Is Puar is Chewbacca? Yeah. Wow. Oh god.
I guess a young Videl is Princess Leia since we're doing Gohan. No, that doesn't make sense.
No.
They should be brother and sister. Or I don't know. We can subvert that.
Who's Vegeta in this then?
I don't know. I was thinking Vegeta could be Han Solo, but I mean, we need him. We need him in there somewhere.
We need Vegeta.
Make more sense as Darth Vader?
I don't. That's too easy. That's too easy.
Trunks as Luke Skywalker would be awesome.
And Vegeta is Darth Vader?
And Vegeta is Darth Vader.
Okay, Majin Vegeta. I'm kind of seeing it. Okay, then where does the Goku family figure into this?
Goku could
be Han Solo.
Goku could be Obi-Wan Kenobi in this.
I was gonna say Goku could be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Train Trunks.
That'd be awesome. That'd be hype.
Man, Trunks
And
already
then-
uses a sword too.
And then Yoda could be
Master Roshi.
Master Roshi.
Right. Okay. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas.
Now we're cooking.
Master Roshi already is Yoda, basically.
He already is Yoda, just as
Oh,
an
man.
actual guy. And
No, the whole
weird.
conceit of
we have
Yoda, where it's
invested
like,
way too much in this concept.
I don't care. This is fun. Actually,
It-
I have to
it
leave for
became-
work in
it
like a half
suddenly
hour.
It became more interesting than the actual chapter.
Well,
Yeah, sorry.
that-
Hey, can we
Just
just
to show what our thoughts on this chapter were.
should I do a little bit of back to the chapter action? All right, the people saw it. We're going back to the chapter. We also gotta wrap up.
we got
Half hour.
We got main cop here looking like a Dorito.
So wait, I'm not ready to go back to this. We gotta take a breather. We gotta take a deep breath.
We humored the Star Wars Dragon Ball universe.
That is fun still. I like that.
That's
I'm not done thinking about
We're
that.
gonna revisit that at some point.
I'm gonna think about that a lot more later.
I'm gonna be drawing fan art of Goku as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That would be insane. Wait, we need you to draw yourself, your little
I
Casey Sona with a
I still
little
haven't drawn myself
hat
with my little sailor hat.
for the Locacacast.
Yeah, I
Because
gotta
we have
do
a little
that.
space for you. You know, you could be like perched on Chris's shoulder, like Pikachu,
And then
or just
and
sort
then
of off to the
perched on-
side.
Yeah, and then perched on my shoulder is Goku as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And then perched on Goku's shoulder. That's right, the Toriyama bird. Okay, all right. Well, I feel now we've de-escalated. Lead cop looking like a Dorito.
Could Goku survive a car crash?
Yes. Next question.
Easily, in fact.
Okay. Coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb.
Oh,
But
wait.
Goku is the coughing baby.
I never told my final story about my dad and the car. So that car that my dad got wrecked in that day, we took that up the fucking mountain once in Flagstaff, Arizona Snowbowl. We were going up there
Why
to
do you
ski
guys
and
drive on
snowboard.
mountains so much? Oh my god.
We drove up a snowy mountain with no chains, no snow
Oh,
tires,
God.
in my dad's 1991 Porsche 911. This is a little car. It cannot do this.
9/11, that reminds me of that tragedy.
No, that's a different one. So we're driving up the mountain, and I'll make this quick, but to make things short, we realized pretty immediately, hey, we really shouldn't be doing this. And we're going slow as fuck, but we keep losing traction. Like every 5 seconds, the car like, and we're like driving diagonally, but we're going forward, like at a diagonal angle, and we have to keep like sloshing from side to side, and we keep saving ourselves. Like it's a very low stakes, low speed, constant drift where we have to go over and then not hit these trees and then don't hit these ones. And we're going so fucking slow, and people are passing us the entire time. But it was like, this is the most low speed initial D shit that's ever happened. This is insane.
This would be a low speed 9/11.
This would be like a deja vu. I've just been in this place
The
before.
lounge
It was a
cover.
really slow initial D.
A plane slowly taxis
Into
into the tower.
Oh my god!
It's very, very idly just.
Wait, just like on the ground level, just like beep.
On the ground level, yeah, just slowly Well, how would it stay in the air, Zach? It's slow.
I don't know. Magneto. Next question.
As opposed to an initial
That's
D,
my
would be
catchphrase now. Is next question.
a final D, a late D. Trying to think of words that are antonyms of initial.
Secondary
Terminal
D.
D. Terminal D. There you go. That's a good one.
Terminal D.
That's got a good ring to it.
All right, I'm gonna play the fucking back to the chapter noise again.
Call my D terminal
Actually,
because
Zach, the
it's
correct
sent her
answer
to
to
the
my
hospital.
question, how would it stay in the air is it didn't stay in the air. It
Well,
crashed.
I suppose
and
it
there
is.
and there you have it, folks. we we've really run the gamut of things to talk about that aren't JoJo in this episode.
As we always do.
Including but not limited to 9/11 car accidents.
11
9/11
was bad. I like how Jodio still has his bandage on his throat.
It was a national tragedy.
Okay, Charming Man is pissed that the cops aren't actually looking for his brother Mauka. They're like gaslighting him, and they're like, if actually you want us to investigate, then you're our lead suspect, and you injured a policeman. And he's like, no, I didn't. He just grabbed my arm and his palm scraped against it and turned red because I have coarse sandy skin.
Now, yeah, obviously being the focal point makes him the most interesting part of this chapter, Charming Man. And I feel like this little moment might even lend more credence to him being some kind of rock human descendant, or it is just a big red herring, and he just does have a weird skin condition that makes him feel like sand.
Would rather
not just his stand ability.
I would rather be surprised than disappointed, so I'm just going to choose to believe that it is just a weird thing with his skin and that he's not a rock human. Because if I choose to believe he is a rock human, I'm going to be reading into the story for that for the next 90 chapters and then be pissed when nothing happens. So I'm just going to take the story at its word and be surprised later if it happens.
Yeah, or be pissed when it's never mentioned again that he has a weird skin condition.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be any of those things.
It'll join the ranks of such well-known abilities as Wham's Shadow Attack.
Yeah.
Alright, well, he's like, we got our eyes on you. And then he's like, well, what the fuck? Just do your job. Our job? Someone find my brother. My little brother Mauka didn't turn up again in the end. Where did he go? Ever since then, I never saw a drop of water in this area. As for the lava tubes, there's lots of them on the volcano. Big tubes, small tubes. And I have no idea how
we
long
got big
they are.
tubes. We got small tubes. We got tubes with water. We got tubes without water. We got tubes with your brother. We got tubes without your brother.
We got tubes that used to have lava in them. We got tubes with weird rocks that attract dollars. We got tubes for all your needs. Come on down to Terry's Tubes on the Big Island.
I'm Lava Tube Johnson.
I'm Lava. Have you guys seen the Answer My Eyes Johnson? But it's like the guy's playing drums to it, and then the people are harmonizing to it and playing guitar to it and shit.
No.
Okay, wait. Stop the world. We're doing that right now.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay. It's okay. We have plenty of time. This chapter isn't going anywhere.
All right. This is my favorite shit ever. Check this out. This is 51 seconds long.
Lava Tubes in my eyes, Johnson.
Shut up. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
Wait, you don't have the stream up.
I got it now. I was doing it as you said that.
We're in there.
All right. You ready? Hang on. Can you guys see okay?
Yeah.
I can see.
Let me know if you can't hear.
Some crazy stuff, yo.
I can hear.
Ants in my eyes, Johnson. Here's ants in my eyes, Johnson's electronics. I mean, there's so many ants in my eyes, and there's so many TVs, microwaves, radios. I'm not 100% sure what we have here in stock because I can't see anything. Our prices, I hope, aren't too low. Check out this refrigerator, only $200. What about this microwave? Only $100. That's fair. I'm ants in my eyes, Johnson. Everything's black. I can't see a thing, and also I can't feel anything either. Did I mention that? But that's not as catchy as having ants in your eyes. So that always goes, off by the wayside. I can't feel. It's a very rare disease. All my nerves, they don't allow for the sensation of touch. So I never know what's going on. Am I standing, sitting? I don't know.
Am I standing, sitting? I don't know.
That's so good. Oh, wow. Me and the squad coming to kill you.
Let's go.
Anyway.
When someone says something so JoJo-phobic, you have to hit them with that stand user stare.
But no, dude, that's so good. A lot of it is just like weird, insane, jazzy stuff that doesn't actually sound good, but it all flows together so beautifully. And the fucking, I'm Ants in my eyes, Johnson, everything's black. Like,
Yeah,
that's
that part
fucking
sounded
good.
amazing. And then the rest was like almost appropriately discordant.
It was like, it almost got there a couple times. Like, check out these refrigerators, only $100. Like, that was like, he started going into some real, like, I don't know, he was strumming the guitar beautifully.
He was kinging like Kong, one might say.
Dude, he was kangin'. He was
He
conquering.
Kangin'.
He was Kangs
Kang
and shit.
the Conkster ding.
Kank, Kimmy Gomberdoom. What?
Yeah.
Kim
we got big
Wexler.
lava tubes. We got
Kimmy
small lava
Conkerdoom.
tubes.
Kimmy
We got
Conkerdoom
tubes
in the
with dead
lava
bodies
tube.
in them.
My brother fell in a lava tube, but that's not nearly as catchy
As having sand in your eyes, so.
as having sand in your eyes. I'm sand in my eyes, Johnson.
Sand in your eyes, Johnson.
Sand in my eyes, charming man.
Sand in
Bro,
my eyes, charming man.
Going back to Dragon Ball, you know how there's all this like Saiyan pride and honor and shit?
God, not even... I'm sorry, what?
There's all the Saiyan pride and honor and shit, and they always
Right.
fight one-on-one. In the Namek
Yeah.
saga, that shit was not well established yet. There's this part where Vegeta literally throws sand in Zarbon's eyes to get a cheap shot on him. Like, Goku fucking hits Raccoon in the middle of doing his ultimate attack and doesn't even let him do it. One-shots
Okay,
him.
but Goku has no concept of Saiyan pride.
Goku
just fights.
punched Jace in the face while he was talking.
Yeah.
Like, these motherfuckers were moving so nasty in the Namek arc. It was insane.
No, he was moving different.
I just wanted to say Vegeta was sand in your eyes, Johnson, for a second there. He went for
I'm
it.
sand in your eyes, Vegeta.
Literally, he hit Bardon. He hit Zarbon with the pocket
Bardon.
sand.
I love Zarbon.
Me too. All right, so there's someone that Zarbon has big gender fluid vibes. I gotta say,
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Zarbon's one of those. All right, there's someone
One of
there.
those.
There's got to be an outsider. He strikes me as a tourist. This is actually
Gotta
very
be
Breaking
Zarbon.
Bad. This strikes me as like one of those long scenes without dialogue where we see Mike doing something or figuring something out. Like imagine Rohan scattering the bills on the beach and figuring out the lava rocks as like a long silent Breaking Bad scene.
Yeah, that's like a cold open.
Yeah, definitely. So he drops the bills on the ground, and then they flutter back around him, and then they do that again, and he's looking at the lava rocks, and it looks like he has a bunch of them in the tub there. So my theory is that he did not come to Hawaii with these lava rocks to try and find more of them. He found them here, and he was like trying to figure out which lava rocks are magic through like trial and error. You know what I mean? Because he's got that tub, and he's like testing out different ones. Like, well, this one's not magic. Anyway,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
because he ended up with those two.
I didn't even put that together either. Yeah, I just saw him with the tub full of them and then the monies. I see. So he's
figured-
not. Those aren't the ones he's collecting to take back with him. Those are the ones he's testing
I think so.
to see if they're magic.
He's trying to figure out which ones have this crazy property.
And what I see. Okay. Yeah.
That was my reading of this, because he has a tub full of them there, and then when we see
Right.
later, he's only got two.
We only know he's got two.
So I think he narrowed it down to just those two with the magic properties, and Jodio fucking smashed one of them.
One of them.
Which is interesting, because I wonder if the concept of having ownership over the rock goes away once the rock is destroyed into small enough pieces, or I wonder, like, wherever that dust settles, you know, like it'll become
Yeah.
part of someone's garden, and that garden will just attract money for no reason for the next 1,000
Yeah,
years. and no one
I'm
will
That,
die.
still-
that sounds like something Iraqi would come up with.
Right?
I was gonna say, with the concept that we know of equivalent exchange and these certain places that
the
have
corpse
unique
parts,
properties, the corpse parts,
blessing the
Blessings from the
ground.
earth, yes.
the devil's hands, yeah, the blessings of the earth,
Oh.
and whatnot.
Hang on, would you excuse me, guys, for 90 seconds? I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I have returned.
Did you hear my impression of Krillin getting killed by Frieza?
No, I had to take my headphones out. I got up from my desk.
Oh, he says, "Goku, help!" Remember?
Man, too soon.
It's like 20 years ago.
People don't forget.
Oh, never
Talking
forget
about 9/11 and
9/11.
shit.
Yeah, never forget Krillin.
Never forget Krillin. I mean,
He's kind of got like.
wait, guys, that's what we need to do. We just need to gather the Dragon Balls and wish back the Twin Towers.
my
Back the
God.
Twin Tower. Oh, that'll solve everything.
Dude, the only reason we remember it as a random terrorist attack is because Chainsaw Man ate Majin Buu, and we all
It
forgot
is.
that Majin
Oh my
Buu did
god.
that.
The real culprit.
The real
All
one
along.
behind 9/11. I mean,
the Twin Towers!
what? That was honestly like that was in between Elmo and Majin Buu.
Listen. Sometimes when you're on the spot with an impression.
Boo hates the Twin Towers. This
Most
is the
fucked up
best
episode we've ever
podcast in the fucking world. There is no podcast better than this.
You'd be hard pressed to find a podcast.
The best part is there are multiple reasons why this is the most fucked up episode we've ever done.
Yeah,
Well.
it's not just one. We've been really layering it on this week.
Exactly.
This month.
You can
Different
throw a
approaches
stone
to
in
the
any
madness.
direction.
This is maybe my favorite episode that we've ever done. I don't know. Maybe I'm just enjoying it a lot right now because I'm in it.
Well, hey, we'll have to. Only time will tell when we listen back to it.
Oh, we just hit 2 hours.
Woo!
All right, we gotta wrap up in like the next 10 minutes because I gotta fucking leave and get changed and go to work.
Oh,
well,
that's
we
right.
only have a
That's
few more
fine. We're at the
pages
end
to
of the.
Yeah.
We're at the tail end of this chapter.
We're at the tail end. I'm glad that we spent so much time bullshitting because this chapter is kind of insubstantial on its own, and I'm glad we spent so
Yeah.
much time on car and cop trauma and 9/11
and
Dragon Ball
9/11
Z.
and Dragon Ball in Star Wars.
I really am proposing that it's like a Family Guy Star Wars thing, where it's like the events are mostly the same, but the
Largely
characters'
the
personalities
same.
are informed by who they're mashed up with.
We don't have
yeah.
we don't actually have time for a full discussion now. We have to wrap up the chapter.
That's true. Thanks for keeping us on track. So, fucking Charming Man, which is a stupid name still, I'm not used to saying it yet. He's
He's awesome.
Who is he? He's collecting something, the lava rocks, he's scattering bills, and he's picking them up from under them. Is there some connection? Uphill from here is the hole my brother fell in, the lava tube. Alright, and now we're back! Meryl McKee! And this is actually, we might have stuff to talk about now. Meryl McKee, well done, you got the $6 million diamond. So, like, mission 1 success. Look
We
like
did
the
it.
real thing. You must be exhausted. I told you not to steal anything else, but you had picked up an original drawing from a mangaka, a bottle of high-class wine, and a broken watch. Well, I suppose that's fine. Still actually
That's
need to
not
sell
bad.
the diamond, but here are the shares I promised each of you. It's all there.
Remember when one theory was that like this part, like the whole part would be one heist.
I'm getting the fucking diamond.
Yeah.
Well,
That
getting
went out the
diamond and
window
getting it
almost.
back To,
That went out the window almost immediately.
Yeah.
Everyone's stoked. Everyone's popping off. Jodio's doing his little goblin grin, his little gremlin grin.
Yeah.
Usagi's like, I just made money.
I just made money for the first time.
I just made money. And then Meryl May puts the fucking diamond in the safe and locks it. So, I have a number of acquaintances in various places, and those acquaintances are important people with their own responsibilities, networking, folks, customs, police department. I never got a word from anyone that the island of Hawaii that there was a robbery or that a thief had snuck in, there being fears about public safety or any of those other standard reports. Don't you think that's rather odd? You took over 6 hours to steal the diamond. You're hiding something important from me. Isn't that right? You're gonna tell me now before you get into trouble. Tell me what happened on the island. Everyone's like, we thought about telling you, but it's really hard to explain. It's going to end up being a long story, like really long. Long? What did you do? Please speak up. Look, there, and the diamond is in her hands. She's like, huh? What the fuck? So, there's more we didn't tell you, Meryl May. About 2 more things, I guess. You see, we actually have a new friend outside. He's waiting for us right now. His name is Charming Man.
His
Hold on,
name
Dragona.
is the Charming Man.
Wait a minute, everyone. I'm thinking this could be interesting. But Dragona still has the lava rock. They have not told her about the lava rock yet. Look at the skin tone of that hand, and that's Dragona's pouch thing behind her brooch, and she's touching the D dragon thing pouch on the previous page. She has it, and they have not yet revealed to her that they have it. But this is where we leave the chapter.
I think it's pretty crazy that we still, like, Charming Man's part of the team, we still have no idea what his stand is called.
I was gonna say, I think this is, for as little as we talked about it, I mean, it's a fairly interesting chapter. I think it's interesting that we focused mostly on Charming Man and his backstory. The fact that he's the first character backstory we even get is interesting to me.
Yeah.
And how it directly ties him into joining the gang and how he got there is interesting. You know, I think it's obviously all going to come back later. he's probably going to be an important addition to the cast. But yeah, it wasn't like mind-blowing, but I think it's setting up a lot of interesting things,
I don't
which
know.
I can appreciate.
He might be bait. He might just be added to just get killed. I mean, I
Maybe.
don't know that is it really a good idea to have basically like an illusion creator?
Slipknot him?
What'd you say?
You think they're gonna Slipknot him?
Yeah, it's the man who can climb anything. I don't know. I mean, it would be crazy if he just got brutally killed in the next chapter for no reason. But also,
For
it
no
definitely
reason.
wouldn't happen because we just spent so much time on his fucking stupid backstory.
Yeah.
Although,
Wait, but Zach, right after the backstory is the best time to kill someone in JoJo.
I mean, yeah, that is usually the progression of events.
I just don't know that that it's a good idea to have a Tsurugi on our side so early in the part. Like, this person can create illusions of just, like, stuff where there isn't stuff. And is it, like, that's the real fucking monkey wrench to throw into things, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, that's either going to be criminally underused from here on out, or it can solve all our problems. And either one of those I don't really like that much. So we need some more definition on what this fucking stand does.
Well, I was gonna say, now that he's joined the team, it doesn't
Stand
really
will be
matter what...
bigger.
I was gonna say, it doesn't really matter what we saw his stand initially do.
Yeah, because
Because Araki has the chance to just be like, well, this is what it does now. And here are the mechanics. He can turn invisible and make illusions, but only after he's, like, I don't know, ingested 13 pounds of
That's funny because I was
flour
going to
dough.
say only if he's had breakfast that day.
Yeah, exactly. Only after he's had, like, a substantial breakfast, which is what we saw, you know, that happened off screen. He ordered himself, like, a nice bacon and eggs before he attacked the group. So, there's room for it to be... I think it's an interesting ability to be part of a JoJo crew, especially when the theme is heist and such.
I have a question
Heists
for
and
you.
adventures.
What was your problem that you had with the chapter that you were alluding to? I was like, I still have to read the chapter, and you were like, I have one big problem with it.
My big problem was we got it out of the way early, is no conclusion to their fight. That's what I wanted to see.
I see. I thought you were going to bring up that it's a little weird that Jodio said there was no way we would have had enough people for this mission, and then the mission's just a success. Like, we did it. It's done.
Oh, you know, that's another good one, too. I didn't even think about that. I did have... And we might have already talked about this.
Nothing ever actually became of that.
Yeah. And so I still don't know if that specific line
Were they
is...
talking about how Rohan defeated them all and they talked their way out?
I have
Well-
no idea.
But he didn't defeat them. Jodio got him. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, Jodio decidedly won in his encounter with Rohan.
He got his ass, and there's no one in the history of JoJo has ever been able to make Rohan back down from an I refuse. This is a real first for the series. Jodio got one over on Rohan after he hard daga kotoaru.
That line now is just going to be such a weird, haunting point of discussion now, because it's like, now we need to really know the exact context in which Jodio is having this monologue.
We already have all the information available. Like this was the mission.
Is it? Or is he saying this as we initially thought, like, post part 9, like he's saying this at the end of the adventure? Like, is this the moment where... Yeah, is this the moment where Meryl May Q says, okay, we need to assemble a gang because the 4 of you aren't going to be enough for my idea, right? and he just said that line like well in advance.
Or perhaps
with
when
this
she finds out about the
knowledge.
lava rock, she's like, wait, I've heard about a thing like this. There's no way you guys are going to be able to protect this on your own.
Exactly, and now
then
this is what we
perhaps
assemble
the mission
crew.
isn't quite over. Maybe there's another thing that needs to be done. Maybe she's like, wait, this changes everything. We're not done at
Yeah.
all. You guys have actually brought a cursed object in here.
That's all I can think of is that he is saying this, the four of us never would have been enough, more as self-reflection post-adventure rather than...
Yeah, there are two schools of thought, I feel. Number one, he didn't mean that necessarily talking about just this opening heist to steal the diamond, but more what would be the consequences of it and the overall adventure that would come after. And just to say that they weren't prepared for what was going to come. There's that he wasn't just talking about this, he was speaking more broadly. And then also, secondarily, there's the other school of thought that the mission is not over. Because we fucked up and we brought the lava rock here, this could actually be a bad thing. Like, oh god, the mission's not over at all. We're in huge danger still. Why did you bring this to my office? Like, we could be going that way with it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Either the mission's not over, or he wasn't just talking about this mission. Those are the two schools of thought, I feel, on how we can make that line make sense still. And actually, why don't we go back to it and rate it?
In context.
I wonder if the lava rock has any connection, other than thematically, with the Milagro Man, because they both do deal with like the idea of like good things come to you. No, they always come back to you no matter what.
No matter what.
So check this. He says, this is the beginning. One diamond worth $6 million. Just going to Hawaii Island, doing a burglary of a rich person's villa, and coming straight back. But it's not the three of us, it's going to be the four of us. That's pretty much a direct order from Meryl May. If she says go with 4 people, then 4 people is what it's going to be. The boss did call one thing correctly. Just the 3 of us would seriously not have been enough. Actually, it wouldn't have been enough no matter how many people we had. So maybe, hang on, I just thought of something new. Maybe this is alluding to the eventual breakdown of the group. Like, yeah, then we had 4 people, and then we had 5, but that didn't make things any better. Maybe that's how he means it. More people wasn't actually the answer to our problems.
To how they needed to get Charming Man on board?
No, I'm saying maybe, like, the group grows even beyond Charming Man, and we have a larger number of people, but this contributes to the eventual, like, collapse of the group, this foreshadowing we're doing towards the people in the group turning on each other. Maybe it wouldn't have been enough, no matter how many people we had, means increasing our numbers did not solve our problems.
And that could also tie into the theme of amassing so much wealth, and then just everyone's latent greed coming into play and being like, well, now that we have more players, we have to split the shares more, so everyone's technically getting less, but they want more, blah, blah, blah.
Usagi and Dragona's materialism and greed is cute right now, but is it going to be cute later?
Mm-hmm. Man.
Stuff to think about.
Much to think about. Yeah, like I said, like, it's not the most astounding chapter, but it gives you little nuggets of food for thought for later on. Like, I'm sure this will come into play later. I'm not dismissing the events of this chapter as just being, well, whatever. We learned Charming Man's backstory, that's probably nothing. There's gotta be something.
I don't know. I was going back and looking at the part where Jodio fucking gets one over on Rohan, and I kind of forgot that Jodio's a huge fan. That's such a fun wrinkle of this.
I love the little moments of... Even in this chapter,
I respect him. He calls him Rohan Sensei. He's threatening them. Call them back, tell the police there was a mistake and the patrol car doesn't need to come. He's threatening him. But still, he's like, I respect this man.
Showing respect, yeah. And that's another thing that I hope is at least somewhat consistent with Jodio's character and his development, is that he's still just a kid. He's still 15. This chapter opened with him, quote-unquote, interrogating Charming Man by opening with, so what music do you like?
Yeah, he didn't even ask his name first.
No, he just got right into what he thought was the most important question. And then they just kind of had a little cute bonding moment, and he's like, oh my god, yeah, those albums are fucking great, aren't they?
I like that
Like, I don't
music
know.
too.
I've been really endeared to Jodio right away, and I would be especially disappointed if over the course of this adventure there's a complete tonal shift in his character.
Mm-hmm.
That one that feels out of left field and just complete departure from the character we've come to know.
I've stumbled upon something interesting in my paging through of this Rohan chapter. I'm just going to reread this to you guys. One last thing. This should go without saying, but do not speak a word about what you know about that lava rock to anyone. Understand? Just keep it to yourself. Can you trust those comrades of yours? I wouldn't if I were in your place. Now, here's what I have to say about this. I think that Jodio can, in fact, trust, at least right now, Dragona and Paco and Usagi. You know why? They've been through shit together. They've been out there in the trenches. They've saved each other's lives. And I think that it might be a bad idea to tell Meryl May Key about this. Meryl is not their blood brother like that. Meryl's just their crime boss. Meryl would sell them down the river to make money. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. We know that.
Yeah, like Meryl.
We can almost guarantee that.
It's probably going to be a very bad idea that we're going to tell Meryl about the lava rock. This is probably that's the comrade we have to be worried about because we're all kids, right? We're like rowdy, cool teens on an adventure, and we're like shedding blood on the battlefield and growing closer. But this like adult school principal ass bitch who's sitting back at her desk does not care about us like that.
No, she's already been through this. She made it to the top.
Right. I think it might be not necessarily when Rohan says it, he's indicating his comrades, but I think his statement may ring true in terms of like there are people who it seems like you can trust that you should not trust, and it may be talking about Meryl. Just a thought.
Yeah. No, I could absolutely see that because, I mean, shit. It's not like we're ever going to see Meryl out on the front lines, you know, risking her neck.
I wonder if she has a stand. I wonder what it does.
I would love it if she had a stand. Honestly, I would love it if she was like a Pulpo type character.
Yeah, she is Pulpo.
That her stand allows her to just kind of influence things without actually needing to be there. I think that'd be great.
Have we ever had a main villain with a remote control stand?
Not unless you count White Snake. Because he can really operate.
I was gonna say sheer heart attack, but that's an automatic stand. It's not remote
control.
control. Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But here's the thing. I just had a crazy thought.
Or unless you count Wonder View.
Yeah. That's remote control.
Wonder View is much more sentient.
Man, I already forgot about his ass.
Than White Snake. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I've really got to finish this up and go. But I just had a crazy thought. What if this Meryl betrayal thing is what we're going for? And I just had a thought, like, oh, if she's Pulpo, then in the fight with them, all the kids versus her, Meryl May, the fight should end with Giorno doing a Pulpo on her. She should kill herself somehow. We should use illusions and distractions. We should somehow make it so that her attack kills her, like Pulpo eating a banana.
That would literally be such a perfect team synergy moment.
That would go hard.
Yeah, literally knowing the abilities that are at play between Smooth Operators,
the
Charming
Hustle,
Man,
the Mate
Kudasai, they could set up. That's what I mean. Like, there is potential with these
if this was like a D&D party and we really wanted to like min-max and use our abilities to the best of our ability, we could fuck this shit up. We could rock this boss battle.
Okay, the Mate Kudasai. I want a gun. Okay, Charming Man, make this gun look like a banana.
See?
That's crazy.
See? Think about that.
Yeah. That, oh my god.
Paco lightly hustles her so her stomach growls. And she's like, ooh, I'm hungry.
Yeah. And then Paco's like, here, let me get you a banana, Meryl make you. Hustles a banana.
That's my other thought, that if we have to fight Meryl right now, that might be what Jodio was talking about. 4 people wasn't enough.
Oh.
Right? It could still make sense.
That would be really interesting.
In a way, I'm already really excited that we have like an opening piece of narration that we're trying to debate how it can still make sense, because this reminds me of JOJOLands, you guys. This is like, now we're getting into the real speculation. We're 12 chapters deep. Now we got some meat to chew on.
Yeah, the most obvious is like is they need Charming Man.
Yeah.
To make whatever it is work. Because like
Yeah.
that's what they were missing. That's what they would have always been missing when they set out on the mission initially.
That ability to play that role in the party?
Well, yes, him and his stand ability that's the most obvious absence. No matter how many people they would have had, they wouldn't have had him.
They wouldn't have had him. Yeah, and he has like his own skin in the game.
His
That,
Sandy
again,
skin in the game.
Yeah, his own Sandy skin in the game that would make him, like Paco said, a win-win ally to have. There's no downside to him teaming up now that we know his backstory and that he's not affiliated with the Mafia or with whoever. He is an independent party.
Right.
Because it's not like this backstory was him conveying it to the characters. It was mostly for us, the audience.
Right. Now we kind of get a glimpse of what his
The
deal
most
is.
he
Also,
said was,
what if there was a
yeah.
Fortnite SpongeBob crossover? Because then there would be a Sandy skin in the game.
Oh my god, there would be a Sandy skin in the game.
Ba-dum-tsh. Also, I really have to fucking leave. I have to drive away to work in 2 minutes. I gotta hang up with you guys and start uploading this footage, and I gotta go. We're running right up against time.
Locacacast 1 year, woo!
The prom's tomorrow!
Prom's tomorrow!